You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Do not forget. Expect us.
This is a message to all supporters. A message to all freedom fighters, to all dissenters, to all forgotten. A call to all intellectuals, to all journalists. A call to all freethinkers. A call for intelligence. This is a call to all poets. A call to the strong and the weak. A call to all young people. To the wise, to the astucious. We want you to join us. We are on the streets of Tokyo. In the skyscrapers of New York. In the lanes of Paris. In the cellars of Munich. On Moscow's icy places. On the cobbled streets of Dublin. This is a call to all people. To the youth. Join us in the fight for freedom of information. Search for us, and you will find us. We are among you. We are you. Everyone you speak with can be a member of Anonymous. We have no leaders, only an orientation. We have no targets, only results. You cannot stop us, because we are an idea. We cannot be eliminated, because we are invisible. If you try to mock us, we will mock ourselves. If you try to slander us, we will accept the defamation. We are the king's gestures with daggers. We are the dancing bear which tears to pieces the laughing mob. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us, just as we expect you.
councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
We're live. And welcome to Anonymous Bites Back, episode 160.
Yeah.
And
I don't even know where to,
I do have
start
the
today.
Yeah, we do. We are now streaming on 15 plus platforms all at the same time. We are officially spam on the internet. 100%. We have screen overlays. We've rebuffed everything. And if you're on YouTube, on the YouTube chat, come and post. It'll be on the screen. But where did Preston go?
He was in and then out, and then I'm not sure if he was having some connection issues. I'm not sure if he was giving the Raspberry Pi a try again.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find him. This might be a weird show.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We've got so much to go over, and like some of it literally just happened. I mean, like I said, we'll go down the list because it really is that much, and I want to make sure to talk about everything. It's really up to you guys and where we want to start. I'd like to start with the false flag, guys. That's top on my list.
Yeah.
Top on my list. Like, first of all, guys, it was like almost exactly a month last month where they tried this shit, right? And again, 10 hours after an oil tanker explosion, one carrying just oil and one carrying all these like insanely explosive fucking chemicals, right? 10 hours after it, they're like, oh yeah, it's definitely the Iranians. Did they like spray Viva Iran on the side of the fucking ship? Did they make like a like fireproof, explosion-proof diving apparatus that I don't know about? It's gonna be, for that ship, you can't go into it and check anything while it's burning, right? So you gotta wait until they put the fire out and it's safe to go in, and they make like that would take more than 10 hours. After a plane wreck, it takes weeks to find out exactly what goes on. Now, if there's like a fucking, if a light goes out on one of these ships, they're immediately like, oh yeah, definitely Iran. Definitely Iran. And on top of it, like, Iran has nothing to benefit from this. And I don't think, like normal, our, like, spooks did not do their fucking homework. And they attacked Japanese ships while the Japanese prime minister was visiting Iran. Like, walk Japanese ships while their PM was there. That makes no fucking sense, man. None of this makes any sense. We've talked to the dock workers that were there. They said that like absolutely nothing is going on in Iran right now. If the U.S. government talked to the dock that were there, either one of them was hit by a rocket and the other one was hit by a
Sorry about that.
The U.S. government, no, it's okay. One was hit by a rocket and one was hit by a torpedo. Now, if a rocket was sent off, we watch Iran 24/7. We are up their asses in high def, right? If anybody fired a rocket from fucking Iran, we would have high def video of it. They would be posting that all over, you know what I mean? The media, the social media, you would see nothing but the rocket leaving fucking Iran to smack into this oil tanker, right? That's just not real. And second of all, did they like go through and figure, well, it worked for the Lusitania false flag, right? We'll try that one again. Did you guys use the same torpedo? Like those fucking pre-World War, like World War I fucking false flags? And they're like, hey, that worked. Let's give that one another go. Like, where did the Iran, like, again, where's the picture? Where's the, like, these oil tankers are under constant satellite surveillance. That's how their like steering systems and stuff work, right?
Literally.
It's through these elaborate GPS systems. It's not like they didn't know. Where is the little fucking boat? What did they, are you telling me Iran's got submarines now?
Oh, they might, those littoral, a lot of countries, they just have them that they run them near the shore.
I'm pretty sure that we know where all of their submarines are.
Right, because we're America.
Yeah, we're America. We know where everybody. I mean, it's just it like your two if they do have them, it's like your two submarines. Yeah, we know exactly where they are. And if they had shot anything, we would have pictures of it, and we'd be posting them everywhere. Every time something comes out, right, that they want to exemplify an attack or something, high def of the rockets going out, you know what I mean? Every single one. But this one, Dark Zone, we have no idea what happened, but we are sure it was the Iranians. 100%. It couldn't be one of the, you know what I mean, the oil tankers that is extremely explosive caught fucking flame. No way. No way. That never happens.
I mean, look at them. I mean, it's not like they have to have actual evidence. I mean, they go in front of the UN and tell them complete bullshit and get away with it.
Oh, how long have they been telling us this? My entire lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, literally my entire lifetime, they've been trying this fucking Iranian thing.
That pretty much every war since I've been born has been a false flag, you know. Vietnam, that was the first one.
And that's like, well, I mean, and we can argue. I think we've had this conversation before. So, I mean, we can argue the Lusitania was no doubt. Pearl Harbor, man, we can argue all day. This has nothing to do with advice that the American soldiers gave to beat fascism. Not at all. But the U.S. government probably did move a bunch of ships off site and allow the Japanese to attack us to get us into the war. America didn't want to do it. Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin, you know, you can 11, right? You can count the Syrian chemical fucking attacks, the Iranian chemical attacks into Kuwait, right? Remember that thing? They were killing babies in their bassinets, right? All of those false flags, every single one of them. And some of these same assholes that are pushing them now are the exact same assholes that pushed those ones.
Yeah, in fact, it really is. It's the same group of guys. I mean, they're all geriatric now, but.
Oh, one-trick ponies all the way. One-trick ponies. And yeah, I don't...
It's old.
Yeah, if you knew that the Iranians attacked, they would have, like I said, high-def fucking video of it. There's not even been enough time for them to investigate. The ships are still on fire.
Well, what is the business plan? See, that's my thing. It's like, what are we doing here? What's the point?
I think it's like, I don't know. I think maybe they don't realize that, like, your average American does not give a shit about Saudi oil, right? So they're like, what's the worst thing that could get attacked? What do you think, George Bush? Oil. So they get on there, and I mean, the worst thing, people are grabbing their pearls. They've attacked an oil tanker. I'm invested in oil. What do I do? And it's all like, yeah, we're probably not going to be using that shit for very much longer anyway.
I'll tell you, if those pictures, I mean, those oil tankers, it looked like they hit the dock a little hard. I mean, that's like, there's no hole. It's like a little scrape. It's like, give me a break.
Oh, no, these ones are new ones. They got some video of them being, like, on fire. So this is like, the last one, it looked like they backed them into each other. I mean, that looks pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And that was some sort of quick insurance scam. It was the Iranians. Why? Why would the Iranians back your ship into the dock? Anyway, so this one, they've got, like, the real graphic, you know, shock and awe. You know, there's, like, a hole with the flames coming out and everything. Like, it's exactly what you want. But, like, I give a fuck if y'all sink fucking oil tankers. I'm happy with no oil tankers. Fuck them all. Yeah, fine, fuck it. We don't like at that point, like, this looks like if it's that you have to invade fucking Iran and send my fucking kids to die over there for these assholes' oil? Nah, fuck it. Let's just move to solar. I'm out. We don't need to do all that shit. That's way too expensive. Like, at a certain point, they're giving you all the excuses to just walk away.
Do you think this
Iran
conflict is happening over Israeli?
Well, I think it would be a little bit. I think it would be a little bit naive to say they weren't involved.
Yeah, if they weren't
if
trying
not
to pull
just
strings for Israel.
Yeah, if they weren't just in, you know, if you don't, you know, if you're not, if you're just, even if you're just speaking about their involvement with the military industrial complex, right? Like, I mean, just on that basic level, we won't talk about any of the other fucking underlying industries. You know, the Zionist part of the Israeli government is focused on. So I mean, they want war bad, and they're Zionists. They want war to bring the end of it. I'm not down with that. That you want to, you know, destroy the world for some weird religious views. I'm just not down, guys. I'm sorry.
You're just not craving enough Machiavellian. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. They were passing it around. I was like, nah, I don't drink. I'm good. I drink, but not that. Yeah, I mean, it's just like this constant push to war. I think that like if Bolton and the neocons don't get a win pretty soon here, they're not going to. And I think that slowly, nobody bought Venezuela. The U.S. government just came out with a report saying that there is absolutely positively no organized resistance at the moment in Venezuela. I think Bolton's on like a thin line, and as sickening as it may sound, Trump's probably what's keeping us out of war. And as fucked up is that, and this is it. I know he sees himself as the peace president. Now, the Bushes, the psychopaths, the Dick Cheneys of the world, they know that it costs about 2,000 American lives, right, to get America into a war. They know those numbers. They're thinking of Lusitania, about 2,000 Americans will get you into a war, right? That we get like this blind rage thing coming in, but they know those numbers. And I think that Trump is just egotistical enough to not want it. He wants Obama's Peace Prize. He wants to be known as the guy that brought, the deal maker, peacemaker, right? And I think he's a real wedge in between the insane push to war, not because he gives a fuck about American soldiers, but because of how his ego wants to be seen. As fucked up as that sounds, the Democrats would in a heartbeat fucking have us in a myriad of wars. The Republicans are, on the neocon side, are dead set on it. But Trump, as much of a fucking asshole as he is dead set on seeing himself as being the peace president. And he knows that if he goes to war, that's it. Right? You won't ever get that. And at the end of his presidency, he can look at Obama and say, hey, man, I haven't sent any more U.S. soldiers out to die. Right? And he's doing things because he's a jackass, not because he's doing the right thing. But from my perspective, we're not killing people in North Korea. We're not in war with Iran because he wants to be the guy that makes the peace deal.
Man, I don't know. He's continuing all the wars. I mean, it's not like he's getting out of anything yet. Keeps talking.
Yeah, I mean, none of them actually leave. I mean, we're down to a couple thousand, here and there throughout the Middle East. They are slowly but surely going down. Some of them are just replaced with covert ops and drone strikes. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's such a gigantic evil industry. It's hard to fucking make heads or tails of any of it. And I don't know the numbers. So, I mean, I'd like to, if somebody wants to post them, I'd love to see the rough numbers of that, in comparison to the last administration and how many children have you killed with drone strikes in comparison? Like the last administration was funding and training ISIS. That was not working out for us.
Yeah, that one didn't work out very well, did it?
Yeah, what, training terrorists isn't a great idea? No, it's not. Stop. But they're moderate rebels. Shut the fuck up, man. That's just another word for terrorist. Quit making up words to rename the same stuff.
It's weird how they still had, I mean, even McCain was in on that, with Obama, the strange bedfellows,
Oh yeah, I mean the swiftness that these guys jump on board to wars for profit is insane. They will not agree on, when you look at through both the Democrat and the Republican side, when you look through them, right? The only thing that they agree on is more war. And although like right now the Democrats are bitching and moaning about children in cages and all of that, they are the ones that built them and funded it to begin with. Who the fuck did you think they were going to put in a child-sized cage? Right? When you were funding that for your immigration detainment center, you funded that. The Democrats fucking funded that. Built them. They didn't pop out of nowhere. All the weird contracts with giant Walmarts, right, that they had put into these secret fucking child camps and fucking detainment centers, right? The Democrats funded all of that shit, set all of it up. And now they're all like, oh, I can't believe that you would put people in there in the detainment center that I fucking built. Like anybody that comes into your office and says they need people-sized cages should immediately be fucking fired. So yeah, that's number one off the list. I'm not buying the whole they're attacking I mean, it just I'm not buying it, guys. It's so obviously a false flag. Like more
This
than
is like the
obvious.
second time they try to do something out there.
Once a month we're going now.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised as it's just, you know what I mean, a pretty good insurance scam. We'll make a little bit of money. Right? We know we're really running out of money, time here.
You know,
like the
next thing
clock's a ticking.
they're gonna raise the gas prices, and the next thing we'll be at war with Iran for some unknown reason.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's probably a tactic over the
the way
summer.
Afghanistan started out. I remember I was using a lot of drugs at that point in my life, but I do remember.
I do remember.
I do remember that the Iraq War was going on, and it was about at the height when Fallujah was going on, and then all of a sudden, I remember hearing that we were in war with Afghanistan for some unknown fucking reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there was a large percent of the American population that wasn't like, as long as they were getting oil out of it, right? They figured, we'll get, dollar gas prices, 75-cent gas prices. They really were that fucking cold-hearted. I heard people say it.
Jesus.
That was the same time we were pushing the, you gotta have the biggest fucking urban assault vehicle known to man. I want a triple extended Humvee that gets 3 miles per fucking gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because you're a rapper.
Yeah, this is the galley. This is the what's that button do? That's the gas guzzler.
But does anybody really know why we're at war with Afghanistan as well? Like, does anybody really know?
I don't think the military knows.
Yeah, I think we have no idea what the fuck we're doing now.
Like
not working.
What was the mission? Why were we there?
I think we did get control of the opium pot with the opium fields, which was the plan. Remember, we have a huge opium crisis to fuel, right? Opiate crisis to fuel. That fueled that opium crisis. I mean, it's no like shock that our invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan coincides with our like insane need for opioids.
Yeah.
So I mean, those things were definitely connected.
Yeah, because Afghanistan is only rich in lithium, and they have like a lot of opium farms. That's about it. I mean, unless you're into like hashish, but other than that, that's pretty much their major exports.
I mean, yeah, and that's really across the Middle East as far as like, yeah. I thought. Yeah, there's not a lot that we have done or considered like positive in Iraq, Afghanistan. I mean, anywhere. It's because our goals weren't anything positive. Like any windfalls that came to anyone's benefit were completely and utterly accidental. Our goal was to rape that part of the world, take absolutely everything from them and let them in, including like their natural, their ancient artifacts. Like literally take everything from them. For like straight up greed, same reason as now. None of us benefit from going to war with Iran.
Well, I think it's a stupid idea.
Well, I mean, all wars are a stupid fucking idea. Somebody should have said that right away.
Well, Iran has
the first person came out with
Iran has like a well-established military. It's not like Iraq, where it's like Iraq, but a little more.
Iraq had a great military. It's just us being able to beat them is not the problem. Beating another country's military is not our issue. We can do that. Nope. Right? Shock and awe, blah blah blah. Like we can carpet bomb anyone into submission, but then we got to figure out what the fuck we're going to do because our enemies will slowly bleed us to death.
Yeah.
Like none of them have beat us militarily. Right? But eventually, you don't know what the fuck you're doing here. You're not doing anything. You're just sending U.S. soldiers to die for Halliburton's profit. And eventually, Americans get tired of it.
Yeah, you got to see some kind of end game. I mean, there's just like no military. They don't even come out and tell you like even a bullshit goal.
Well, because I don't think they know what one is, like other than cha-ching. You know what I mean? Like, as a guy sitting on his 10th yacht, and you're like, what are your goals for invading? Fuck, I don't know, man. Get another yacht. You feeling extra patriotic? I'll get 2. Remember 9/11? Right? You see Mitch McConnell's answer is John Stewart's over there fucking fighting the good fight against some gutless, spineless bastards that we call our leadership.
Yeah.
As he's fighting for
9/11
first
victims.
responders, Mitch McConnell acts like he has never even heard of a first responder. He literally started his press conference with "Gosh." Well, gosh, if I knew about it, like, what the?
You didn't know that 2 towers, fell down?
No, he didn't know that the funding for their health care was expiring.
Why wouldn't he know that? That's their job.
Well, and he's shooting it down. No, his literal answer, and I can get on here and quote it, was basically, and I shit you not, he starts it with "Gosh. Gosh. Well, gosh, I really haven't thought about that in a while. You haven't thought about 9/11 firefighters in a while? Fuck, you probably should have. Let me help you.
Jesus.
And it's not like Mitch McConnell said what our entire government did.
What?
Well,
You know what I mean?
Those guys have gotten more money than anybody. That's my problem. I personally don't think they need any more money. That was 19 years ago, 18 years ago. I mean, it's like, come on, and get your own insurance.
Well, I don't think there's all sorts of things that are against them at the same time. First of all, like, these treatments are insanely expensive because they're dying of things like mesothelioma and
the rate of cancer rates among first responders that were there increased, I think, 8,000%.
Yeah, like
there was a lot of toxic shit that was released when they were.
And this is part of it. Like, first they came out and said, nah, there wasn't anything. Then they came out and told the firefighters that they were crazy, right? Like, you guys, it's all up in your head. You guys are dying 8,000% more than normal. It's just all in your head. Same thing as they like to do to coal miners. Another group that our government constantly fucking forgets about because they take huge amounts of money from corporations. Just saying. Fuck Peabody. And then, right, like they like, after all of that, then the treatments are so expensive that they were paying for out of their pockets. They run through these funds crazy fast, and you can't get a job. You're dying of cancer. So yeah, they've got a lot against them. Is it, is there probably people that spent it real shitty, managed it shitty? Yeah, there always is. But how much money? Take it out of Dick Cheney's pockets. That's fine. How much you need? Right? Take it out George Bush's pocket, right? How much you need, buddy? He's got plenty. Right? Mitch McConnell forgot how much. I mean, just a couple million here or there, to get us through before the rest of them finally die of the poisons that you expose them to.
Yeah.
All that asbestos you promised everybody you got rid of, but didn't. Oh, no, wait. Asbestos isn't. I remember asbestos isn't even bad for you, right? You can eat it like cornflakes. Wasn't that what the government was telling us before?
Maybe it was the accelerants that were in the thermite that, boron and all that shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, like, when you start getting into the 9/11 shit, it's such a horrible, corrupt shit show. You're all like, you know what? Like, give the firefighters some cash. They deserve it. The American people deserve it. You fucked us all.
Well, I mean, don't you remember? I mean, like, all the billions they were given, back at the time. I mean, all the donations, plus they were given this congressional money. It's like, plus they were already firefighters and cops anyway. It's like, all right, how much coverage do you guys need? You were already covered.
Well, I think for some of it, because they denied it, they actually weren't covered.
Well, yeah, there comes a point when your insurance company starts denying you coverage for shit, and feeling that a lot of these, first responders have run through their insurance benefits in one way or another, or can't pay for it.
And unfortunately, when it comes to donations, we all know how that works. You give it to a nonprofit, you might as well just throw it out the fucking window.
Yeah, they only get 1%.
Right? Yeah, right. 4 firefighters, roll it up in your fucking hand and throw it out the window. Right? That's what the Red Cross that's what a donation to the Red Cross is. Right? So, I mean, you can name off if it's a nonprofit connected to a senator or a fucking congressman, just keep your money. Right? They'll raise $1 billion for this. How many billions of dollars have they raised to fight veterans' homelessness? And when these banks were too big to fucking fail, did they work it into the deal that we got, homeless families all these extra fucking homes that we just paid for? No. right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get into these things where it's not that people haven't given money. It's not like the people haven't cared and wanted to, you know, come together. Everybody puts in $10. They've done it to the tune of billions. But these assholes have no intent of fixing any of these problems, right? You give me $1 billion, I will end veterans homelessness. End veterans homelessness. They'll take in $1 billion and won't do shit with it. We're in the same place we were when we started. In some places, it's even worse.
Talking about $1 billion, I want to say California had put aside $1.2 billion for homelessness, and they haven't built one unit yet out there.
Oh yeah,
and then they want more money.
Time. Oh yeah, and at the same time, they've bought high rises. We've got, you know, those. I think it's outside of San Francisco, right? I mean, these gigantic, thousands of rooms altogether, right? Of little, you know, apartments and all of them. It goes on for fucking blocks, completely empty. Completely empty. Not a single fucking family in them. But yet they act like they don't know what to do. You know, there's something like 500,000 empty fucking homes. The homes that are already been you know, went through a closure. Like, nobody owns them. The banks have walked away from them. Nothing. Just empty homes. And yet we'll have families in those same towns. And at the same time, nonprofits raising billions of dollars, and nobody ever goes to Fannie Mac, Freddie Mae, any of those fucking cocksuckers and says, how much would it cost for me to buy property? I'll buy them right fucking now.
Yeah.
Every single last one. Oh, look, no, we don't have a homeless problem anymore. We don't have a veterans homeless problem anymore. Millions of dollars and fix Flint's fucking water. Right?
Yeah, that's,
like you can name off plenty of
there's some problems that happened with that this week. That was part of the shit I was going to talk about. But
oh yeah, they dropped charges against all of them.
All of them.
They dropped charges?
All of them
they
got
the
criminal cases
charges
dropped.
Against all of them.
Oh, come on.
100%. That happened through the Michigan State Attorney General.
And when you hear people talk about corrupt Democrats, this is them. Right? This is the kind of corruption. The people that poisoned your water in Flint were Democrats. Not Republicans, right? We're fucking Democrats. The people that are now getting off for it, for actual corruption, for poisoning families across an entire fucking city, right? Oh, we're Democrats. And their own party, our party, my party, right?
Yeah, it's your party. It ain't mine.
Yeah, right? Well, or nothing, not a word about it, not a word about it. Man, they should be in there fucking flogging them. Right now, get in there. But they don't even mention it, right? Even in the newspapers, you know, they'll say like when they talk about the story, they neglect to mention who any of these people are, right? They'll say mayor, right? They'll say, but they don't put like the Dem next to it. You know what I'm saying? Like they do in all of their other stories, right? They leave that up to your imagination. And like Flint's another perfect example. You can go through every, billionaire out there has a fucking nonprofit out there for Flint, and none of them ever flicks. It's only 77 million. 77 million. Name. Google doesn't have 77 million. Google shit 77 million.
Yeah.
Right? Microsoft don't have 77 million. Bill Gates, you ain't got 77 fucking million dollars
in his back pocket.
It's back. Exactly. And you guys together, when it comes to censoring people, right? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, fucking all of you billionaire, billion dollar companies work together, stand hand in hand. But when it comes to doing anything good, y'all can't do nothing. Hands in pockets, right? Go into your fucking Ferrari, right? Pull out the change drawer, and give us the 77 million to do something. That's just one example.
Like, should we challenge Instagram to a hack?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. I know we've got something big coming for you guys down the pipe, so I'm sure. Ooh, look at our oh, wow. It's nothing illegal. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Wow. I think all of our very special viewers just hit record at the same time. Did you see that
the
drop in our... Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Fun. All right, yeah. So yeah, that's coming. But the point is that any one of these companies that unite for all kinds of they will unite in a heartbeat to take users' rights away, right? But they can't seem to ever unite. And we're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars, more money than they could ever spend ever in their lifetimes, and not even notice. It's not like they'd have to say, "Oh, well, I had to live like a pauper." You know what I'm saying? Nah, out of the $200 billion that you make next year, you got to spend $1 billion for the people, and $1 billion actually, you know what I mean, put in the right places, applied correctly, not like thrown into a corrupt system, could change the world.
I got two things here. On the 3rd, there were 65 people charged for Flint, Michigan water, and 8 of them were dropped today.
I heard all of them were dropped.
Yeah, I saw it all. I saw all charges dropped, but maybe that was all charges on those people. But let's do some searching because, man, they like to be extra like they're weasels, right? So they like to play with words, and you have to like go back and look exactly what happened.
Well, like this guy, I mean, it's like, okay, Michigan's former health director, his charges are dropped. Well, how could they be? You're the fucking health director.
You are guilty. Man, if I accidentally poisoned my kids,
they were also
the
health. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, because I remember they were saying last year that the amount of lead was at a safe level. And there's no amount of safe level of lead in your water, even in the parts per billion, mainly because lead, arsenic, mercury are metals that the body can't get rid of under normal circumstances without a help of a couple chemicals, but it will cause a toxic effect and embed itself into your cells and will choke it of nutrients, and you'll eventually end up dying.
And this is, I think, the 3rd time, I think 3 times that they've came out now and said, yep, Flint water is perfectly safe to drink. And we immediately came out and said, do not drink the water. Do not drink unfiltered water, no matter what the government.
Yeah, there's no amount of safe lead in water, even in the parts per billion, because it has a cumulative effect in the body because it stores it as a nutrient.
But they come out if you notice, every couple of years, they've been raising the amount of crazy ass chemicals and particulate you can have in your drinking water. So every year, acceptable amount.
Yes,
acceptable to who?
There is certain, chemicals, you can have safe, because there's always going to be some amount of cyanide and other elements, but they're
naturally occurring.
They're naturally occurring, yeah.
Yeah, our evidence. And that has nothing to do with a city water supply. It is 2019. This is supposed to be the future. It is 2019. No, you should not have arsenic in your fucking water. Right? You should have lead in your water. You can't figure out how to get water? Are you serious? You guys invented the A-bomb before you guys invented bunker-busting Moabs before you figured out how to clean your water.
Well, it actually can be done with about $50 to $100 million. And what they need to do is if the water is contaminated, they need to build a water filtration plant or a distillery plant, and then resend the water through the way that it was going before, unless it's the pipes that are still bad as well. Those would need to be done as well. But it's not really out of the question to fix the water. It's just that
make it. We've got poison water. Make it a fucking priority.
Yeah.
Right. Pull all of those builders that you got fucking building the wall. Right. Put them to doing something like real. Shit, with the amount of stuff that we need done, just fucking let like all the migrant workers you want. We need to replace all these pipes in the whole country. Like 89% of our water is poisoned. We need to do something about that.
Oh yeah, there are other natural catastrophes across the U.S. They're similar to Flint. This is not like an isolated incident in like the United States.
No.
There's the underground fires that are still going on in Kentucky. from the coal
Well,
mines. You know, those have been burning for like what 30 years now.
well,
There's
and
all sorts of shit.
we broke the story, I think, 2 days ago, in that corporate farming, even after the disaster of last year, right, and the hurricanes, the corporate farms have done nothing to prepare themselves for this year's hurricane season, right? So all the chemicals, all the pig shit and feces, and all of that nightmare that they got a free wash away for last year, right? Not only have they done nothing about it, right? They've actually moved chemicals and excrement from the middle of the country out to coastal areas and rivers and lakes and other, and facilities that they have there, in hopes that the floods take it into the water, right? We're now looking at this, like at this very time, that the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico has extended so far, it's gone past the Gulf of Mexico. The entire Gulf of Mexico is now a dead zone.
Damn.
It's really, yeah. I mean, that happens in the summers to a certain extent, but I mean, not the whole Gulf.
Yeah, the entire thing. Nothing but fucking jellyfish and that flesh-eating bacteria and all the nasty, evil stuff that fucking gets in the water. Thanks, Monsanto. So yeah, we got quite a list here. I don't know if we want to talk about John McAfee.
Yeah.
And the CIA leak. He is my favorite crazy person. I see him playing the piano. He's pretty good. Pretty good. I was impressed. And for as fucked up as he looked doing it,
Dude, he hasn't been sober for, I think, maybe about half a decade.
I wrote him and he was all like, "Oh, I'm releasing all this information to the CIA," and about the CIA. And he says, "I'm releasing all this information, leaking it to the corporate media." And I was like, "There is no way they're going to post any of your shit. Give it to us." You're gonna write CNN and tell them you've got dirt on fucking on operations all over the world. Yeah, they're gonna post that right away.
Yeah, I don't I really don't think that I don't know with John McAfee. I don't know if what he's saying is real, and I don't know if what he's saying is fake, because there's enough evidence that maybe what he's saying is real, but he's also high at the same time, so I'm not sure what to even make of it,
I'm sure he has some dirt, just from the position that he was in for so long, being insanely wealthy, doing the network security that he was doing. I mean, it'd be crazy to think that he didn't, right? But on the same, it could be such a small thing and compared to what we need. Right, we don't need to give the corrupt in our society a bloody nose, right? We need to erase their power completely.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to expose them for the corrupt that they really are. And it can't be, that's the problem with a lot of these leaks that have came out, is they're constantly just a real quick kick in the nuts, but right? People go on, feel that they can push a false flag onto us once a month. Right? We need those emails showing that it's a false flag.
Yeah.
And I don't mean us personally. I mean the people. Before y'all come fucking helicopters kicking in my door. Right? Not us personally. The people in general need your corruption exposed. For the NSA agents that are listening to us, this is what we're talking about.
Our viewership always goes up much higher when we have somebody that's wanted by the law on our show.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't have a GPS for Commander X? No, thanks. What's the weather like? No. Seems nice. Is that North or South Honduras?
I mean, McAfee's info. I mean, unless he's done something new. I mean, this is all 5-year-old Belizean. I mean, all that data's out there. I don't know what he's still trying to drip stuff out for. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's been using a lot of drugs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, you can tell. You can see in his eyes, like the last couple of pictures that he's posted. Like, wow. And I don't even know what he's messed up on. I'd love to have him on the show and just be like, dude, how much fun are you having?
I don't
Yeah,
know, man. He's been using drugs so long, he doesn't even look healthy now. You know what I mean?
Oh no, he looks like he's definitely taken it over the limit. Yeah, he's definitely gone on a really dark path. I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. I mean, I hope he does. Like anytime that people release, information about whistleblowing's all about, right? We need much more of that. It's like sad that that it has to affect him before he gives a shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been seeing on Instagram, with the conspiracy people, they're taking John McAfee's fucking threat literally word for word, that it's like the legit, like it's 100% legit. Like, I'm just saying that when it comes to John McAfee, it's the mystery card. We don't know if it's real. We don't know if it's fake. He's just that unpredictable,
Yeah, I'll give him 50-50. I think he's
50
probably
50,
got
yeah.
something.
50
Yeah,
50.
I think he's probably got something a little tasty, but I doubt that he has anything that'll like. A lot of this is complete, is compartmentalized. You'll have, the corrupt shit that the CIA is doing, the NSA doesn't always know about, and vice versa. They've all got their little games going, their little side hustles,
Yeah.
big side hustles.
Like, I don't understand what the CIA really has, interest in a guy who's trying to run for president, is wanted in two different countries for two different felonies, one for murder, one for tax evasion. He's high on drugs, sailing on a boat somewhere in the Bahamas, having drunk sex with the locals, and running around with a shotgun. I really
not
don't.
sure
I don't. I
president.
don't understand how seriously you can take the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that bars you from president. You're right. Like you can name.
He was active. Like,
Name
I remember
that
on
were
his. I
complete-
remember on his Twitter feed, he was disputing on which strain of marijuana was better than the other on his Twitter feed, while he announced, like, a few days after he announced he was running for president. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Wow. Yeah, I believe it. But I mean, so the deal is you only get to murder people after you're president. You don't get to do it before. Or how does like you're super pissed if he murders somebody like ahead of time, but you gotta wait until you can innocent people. If you do a couple, it's all good. But if you do one, you're a bad guy. Is that how that where the line is? Like, okay, you kill a million people, then we put your name on all these buildings, some libraries. Like how exactly does that work? What are the actual numbers?
I don't know.
I mean, like we've had presidents that are like actual rapists.
Which ones?
Well, I mean, besides our current besides our current president.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Grover Cleveland was a fucking rapist, like three rape, and like
Thomas Jefferson. Yeah.
violent.
I don't
So
think
I mean,
I don't think Jefferson was ever president, though. Was
yeah,
he?
I mean Jackson
Yeah, he
was,
was.
you know what I mean?
Was?
Yeah, Jackson was definitely a fucking like genocidal maniac. So I'm not sure like what's the bar. It's bad if you become president, you're McAfee, that you killed your neighbors. But if you send an entire group of people off to their death, right, to be mowed down, killed in their houses and steal their land, man, and we'll put dollars, right? Make sure your picture is up in the open, right? And we won't even talk about being right an upstanding person. We'll build fucking statues to you.
So he's qualified, right?
Yeah, I think he's definitely
right.
qualified. I think maybe he's piling them on a little more than you want to keep one or the other, right? He's piling them all on a little thick, but I don't think like they're all fucking criminals in one way or another, so it's kind of hard to throw stones. But nah, he'd go to jail. Yeah, you may have taken it a little bit too far. I'd love to hear it though, man. Like, if you're gonna go down, like, at least take the system down with you. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, what I really want to know is like, what is his usage per day? Because we know, Snoop Dogg, gave his away years ago, his entourage, the whole thing. But how many pounds a day it was? I think it was a couple of pounds, if I
I'm
remember
sure it was
right.
an
I
insane
want to know what his
amount.
usage is.
Yeah.
Who?
McAfee.
He's using pounds
Yeah,
of what?
see, I imagine weed.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's got, yeah, because he's running around, jetting around with his entourage. I mean, they burn up a lot of shit, man. I mean,
Well, I'm sure that's costing him quite a bit. Like in the stuff that we've seen. I mean, maybe he owns the boat already. So I mean, that's a big part of.
Well, he has crypto, and he has a crypto credit card. I know that. Like, I have one too. But
I mean, so maybe he's doing some active, like a lot of coke addicts.
eventually, he's going to run out of money. That's all I'm going to say. But
invest.
the only thing he has going for him is endorsing cryptocurrency, which he does that for promotion. But he only makes on average about $30,000 for promotion. So I don't know how long that'll last for him with his,
it
with his habit.
depends. Well, it depends where he's. It depends where he's at. Because $30,000 in most of the world is a lot. There's pretty much nothing I couldn't buy in Thailand for $30,000.
That's true.
You could as well have millions and millions of dollars in that case. If you're gonna, especially if you're not paying, buy a hacienda and all that shit. You got your own boat, and I mean, you're pretty much only spending on drugs, like. So I mean, I could see where he could, even a couple, so when you think if he's got a couple million in bank, which isn't top tier wealthy anymore, he still could probably get away with a lot, with a couple million in bank.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear from him. Like, a lot of this, the reason that we're, laughing and joking about it is because we don't get to ask him. So, I mean, if he ever wants to come on, right, we'd like to get the bottom of it.
I have a feeling if we send him a care package, he'll get on the show.
You got to make it worth his while.
Depends on what's in the care package.
Yeah. Well, he's so fucked up that he doesn't give us a good interview. Or we have to go through and like slow it down so that we can understand what he's talking about.
Can I give him 0.1 BTC?
Well, you can psychoanalyze him, Tyler, and you're the guy with the rehab, the rehab guy. So
yeah,
maybe talk him. Yeah, maybe talk him down. See what stage he is at the moment.
Powdered toast gone or something like that. Like he's like in a different dimension at this point.
Yeah, we could do an intervention
on John McAfee. I think it's like cocaine. That's the only thing keeping him grounded.
Yeah. How surprised on our yacht, and it's just us in our like masks. Like, you wanna sit down? The internet cares about you, man, and we feel like you're destroying your life, and you don't have to. Well, I mean, you're in quite a bit of trouble. Like that, there's no getting around that, man. Like you did murder your neighbors for whatever reason. I'm not pointing fingers, but that's really looking bad. You're in a lot of trouble for that. You could possibly benefit humanity on your way out, but yeah, you did kill those people in cold blood, and that's no good, man.
You probably killed your neighbor over some bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you should have just like skipped town, done everything you're doing, but that whole murder thing is bad. That's bad.
Didn't he kill the guy's dog first, or
something like that?
What started?
I think it was over some domestic, some petty bullshit, and then he killed him. Yeah.
Okay, and you killed their dog?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. I want to say he did, but it might have been that's what led to the guy's murder.
Well, yeah, sure. You piss off you kill somebody's dog, like that's really pushing the line, man. And that goes into full on crazy there, right? Like, that's axe murderer status there.
John
Like,
McAfee,
you gotta be
yo.
Yeah, you gotta be a little bit, you gotta be twisted to fucking murder somebody's dog.
Sounds like some tweaker bullshit.
Yeah, so I mean, you're not the first addict to make some really, really bad mistakes. Totally dig it, totally understand, but you probably will have to, face the piper for the murders. I'm not disrespecting him in any way, shape, or form, but like you murdered those people and you have to face justice for it, man.
Yeah.
Those people did not deserve to die. You took the most precious thing that they have to give. So, no matter what you try to do to redeem yourself, through releasing information, like hopefully you make the world a better place out of it and aren't on some sort of drug-filled fucking rampage, which is really what it looks like you're doing.
Maybe he's just too far out there. Maybe like the way you just explained it, I think, maybe it's like, man, we really don't want to deal with this murderer and coke addict. I mean, it's like, can't we find a leaker with a little better credentials than that? I mean,
well, I think some of it is that, if you're going to leak information on the most dangerous people in the world, you've got to be a little bit crazy.
He's got that.
I wonder what his wife is saying right now. I think she's on the boat as well. You know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Plus his bodyguards.
Yep.
Really? So yeah, maybe he does have some cash.
Well, here's the other thing. It's like, how does this guy just go around on the open seas with all these weapons in his bodyguard? How do you get away with it? I know he's rich, but it's like, come on, man. How do you get away with it?
When you're in
It's that international waters thing.
There's no laws, so you literally do whatever you want.
That does not sound right.
It's true though. People do it all the time.
Yeah, he's doing it. It just seems like that shouldn't be right. I mean, that just doesn't seem right.
Until some U.S. ship pulls up, and then you're in trouble.
Well, it's just weird where our government takes like a stand in what's legal and not legal. So invading a country for oil, totally cool. Like going to get McAfee, not cool. Like locking up Julian Assange and then breaking a bunch of laws to have him expedited, cool, but you can't do that for an actual murderer? I don't understand.
I guess John McAfee is not high. Well, he didn't murder. The Belize government would be the one coming after him for that. The IRS wants him for tax evasion, but I don't exactly see the IRS sending a task, like a SWAT team after him in the Bahamas for tax evasion.
Wouldn't it be easier to just like sink his boat? I mean, he's gonna swim to you at that point.
It's docked on some island in the Bahamas, so.
I mean, he'd be easy to go after. I mean, it's like, come on, you guys deal with smugglers and all. They got a lot better boats than that all day long, a lot faster. You're telling me you can't?
Yeah, act like when they were picking that poor Cuban bastard up that was swimming from fucking Cuba, they had like attack helicopters and speedboats and you know what I mean, heavily armed, soldiers, and with this guy, nothing. I think they probably figure he's just gonna OD eventually.
Probably. I mean, that's the logical reason. That's the most logical thing that would happen to him.
Like, yeah, at a certain point, you're just like, just let it play itself out.
But I mean, he's so far down the road now. I mean, his body chemistry is tuned for this. He can survive off that shit.
Yeah, he's been doing it for so long. Like, it may be one of those things where those drugs are the only thing that are keeping him alive.
Yeah, he's hitting his late 60s and he's doing stimulants every day. He's gonna have a heart attack eventually.
Yeah, copious amount of fucking drugs.
And the way he eats, when he eats on live streams, he's eating fucking garbage, fucking food in bars. So I don't think he's eating very healthy either.
Yeah, that's where I saw him the last. Was at that bar playing the
with that
piano
with that local that he was getting a little friendly with.
Yeah, I'm sure his wife loved that. You're right here partying with the locals, and I'm stuck on this fucking boat because you want a coke-filled murder spree and then took off to the Bahamas.
Can't you put it another way so it doesn't sound so bad like that?
Because it is that bad.
Can you gloss it up a little bit? Yeah.
I thought I did. Yeah, like I want him to come on the show. Trying to keep clean.
I guess somebody's asking where's Lubbers. He's sleeping. He'll be back.
Yeah, like these. Unfortunately, some of the stuff. I mean, besides our normal jobs, this is like a full-time, thing to check and research and get like real, tangible information out for people.
Yeah.
Did we talk about our getting our weekly Zuckerberg?
Yeah, so no, we didn't. So this week on Facebook, emails were leaked out that to the shareholders that Mark Zuckerberg knew about privacy violations that were going on for a copious amount of time. And yesterday, the stocks dropped significantly, but as you know, in Wall Street, when somebody sees a cheap stock, they go buy it, and today it rose back again. So I don't know. Facebook is literally in decline. I'm gonna say it over and over and over again. It's not looking good. The privacy violations really aren't going to disappear. Him trying to revamp the platform into like a gaming platform, and now they're gonna have a cryptocurrency and yada yada yada. It's grown beyond what it originally was, and it's a failed product. It's not going to be. It's you. Okay, when you set up a Facebook account as a normal user and not a content creator, you are the product. I'm not sure if anybody's getting that.
Yeah, like you're the information that they're after.
That's why it's a free platform.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not free. You're giving away all
because
of your
because
personal
you're
information.
the product.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like the and fuck, I think we quit streaming on it altogether.
We are. We have a task force that's going after our page on Facebook that are trying to remove us for copyright violations, which I'm pretty sure we got rid of most of those videos that were copyright violations years ago. And now they have a task team that's going after and flagging our videos for copyright violations because
we're job creators.
Well, even when the Facebook AI asked us if we had permissions from these artists to stream for the intro, we did every fucking time.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where these copyright violations are coming from, unless this has to do in relation for the Facebook admins that gave us a really weird email to all of the admins on the back of our Facebook page that we needed to get rid of a video where we explained in complete detail how the Facebook algorithm worked. I think that's why they're retelling it, and we talk a lot of shit on the platform, and maybe they think it's bad PR because I don't know, we have like 30,000 likes on Facebook. Yep. And we just left it just because, Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, they definitely hate us.
Yeah, Jeff says he'll take our videos down for free. Hit me up. I'm sure you can, Jeff.
Yeah, so I mean, Facebook has always had a hard-on for us, so it's just, it sucks. I've gotten copyright violations for songs that I've made, so I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Yeah, but you see,
the artist, my name on it.
What we're seeing on Facebook for these copyright violations and the stuff we're seeing on YouTube lately is, and I hate to say this is a this is getting us ready for ACTA 2.0 in United States. And I would say for the majority of North America and South America, we will be seeing a similar. Facebook is gay as fuck. But we will be seeing copyright stuff like we're seeing in Europe that will be coming to the United States very soon. I've already heard of a couple people in Congress talking that they wanted the same thing set up over here. And you and I, our panel mainly knows that most of those laws or most of those rules are not going to be aimed towards copyright violations or copyright content and who owns what or this shit. It's going to be used for political leverage to get videos and propaganda videos blown down or truth videos on somebody's bullshit because, you know what I mean? It's not going to be what they say it's for.
Well, you saw that with that weird moment with the, I think it was the Nancy Pelosi video.
Yeah.
Where they had edited it to kind of make it look like she was slurring a little bit more than she was the way that they edited it. But we make videos making fun of politicians constant, right?
Yes,
and I mean,
it's
the
not,
left in
it's
general.
Not,
you know what I mean?
What makes the internet cool, and this comes from like old 4chan fucking like thinking, is shit posting. I'm sorry, it makes the internet very fucking entertaining on social media platforms.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
I love shit posting. I mean I don't look down upon it. I think that's exactly what it's for. And I don't think that shit posting should be put in the fucking fake news category, because if you want to shit post and make fun of somebody, go ahead and do it, you know?
Yeah, but they've always satire. They're always trying because, and I say it constantly, right? That you get more from a punchline than you do a punch. George Carlin did more to destroy the military-industrial complex, prison-industrial complex, than most activists did. Not with raising a fist or doing, you know what I mean, or doing, or actually doing anything other than those fucking jokes. And as soon as you make your enemy a joke, an hour away from them. Mitch McConnell's a good example. He was one of the most powerful senators in our, right? And because of it, he's losing huge amounts of power, right? Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure, saw that same thing, but you're allowed to make fun of the, and that's exactly what they're trying to, you know what I mean? What they're doing. How dare you make fun of the royalty? This.
Basically,
that's exactly what I saw there. And like I'm far left. I'm so far left. I'm high-fiving the right on the way by. Right? Like there comes a point where this is satire.
But they don't.
Right? Fun of the powerful.
Most social media platforms are taking down content, what they're declaring as fake news, and that's pretty fucking dangerous. For me, I don't say it's fake news. I call it shit posting, because I can look at the fucking article and I'm pretty intelligent enough to know what I'm looking at is fake, and I find it fucking hilarious. It's designed to be hilarious on purpose. It's not fake news. It's a shit post.
Yeah, just post. Look, if you're YouTube and you think that a post is fake news, right? Put fake news in the banner.
That's a good one.
Like how hard is that? Right, if you want to mark somebody's thing as this is fake news, then just put it on their page. Fake news. This page has been marked as fake news. You put it for spam. This page is, this page has been known for spam. You can do it with other things. Why can't you do it with these?
Yeah, we're spam. We are spam as of today.
Oh, you guys know my feelings on that. If we could use all of the tools that our enemies, use to oppress us, to free us, I will spam peace in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, I think
it's what. Yeah, in a heartbeat. I don't care. As soon as they post, the next false flag, the next march to war, the next bullshit, I'm all over their page. I will spam peace from one every single post that you've ever made. I will get on the picture of you and your fucking kids and post peace on there. You're not sending your kids to go die, are you? Happy birthday. So yeah, I
want to say there's only a few congressmen, who send their family members to go through all this. Out of 535, you get maybe 3 to 5 at the most. Yeah, it's low.
Yeah, very, very few, and then they get some seriously cushy positions.
Yeah.
Like you can't be any farther in the rear with the gear. They're the first ones to get, the stateside guard positions and those nice cushy positions in DC. So yeah, look, I mean, it's no surprise that the rich and powerful don't send their kids to die for these wars. They're making all the money off of it.
Yeah, we need to stuff them into Ukrainian Gazprom positions so they can so they can
Well,
be
it's not like, I mean, it's with all of
oligarchs.
those. Yeah, it's one of those, but it's one of those things. Like, it's like, look, man, you want to go to a war? You want to go to war with Iran? Fine, you first, man. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, that's
And
not
shit,
gonna,
with
that's
Barr, three of us could stack behind his fat ass.
Well, I mean, what gets me is like they do all this now. It's like they don't even come out like a fireside chat or something and give you any, blow some smoke up my ass or something, from your
Well, 'cause
fireside over there.
They know they're lying, and so I don't think they want to
God. They just
act
don't
like
try very
they're-
hard. Just we'll throw out a few lies out there, and there we go.
And although he didn't, he didn't do the military thing. Oh goodness, Carter, right? When 3 Mile Island, when that was all going down, he went there. Like and they said, you're the president. We can get you. You're just going to take out half the fucking East Coast, right? We can get you to somewhere safe. All of that. And his response was, I'm gonna, these are my constituents. These are the American people. If it goes, I'm going to go with them. I thought that was like one of the few times you see our political leadership lead from the front, and it not be for some like psychotic genocidal. Yeah, can you imagine any of these guys on the front lines?
No, not really. Not many of them, no. Because in their youth, they were running away from it so hard. Now they're neocons. Now it's okay.
Well, yeah, because they're sending your kids.
It's just the height of hypocrisy, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but no, I'm down, man. Load your ass up on that ship. Get going.
But even like LBJ, he would come out and give you the bullshit news. Gulf of Tonkin, right? That's but at least you have the president saying it's like, okay, this is kind of official,
Well, now Sarah Huckabee Sanders is gone, so I kind of wonder who the next voice of Sauron's going to be.
You know what's kind of odd about that is like I thought that sounds kind of fucked up when Sarah stepped down, is that she knows that Trump won't get reelected, so she's trying to preserve her political career, and that's what I was thinking.
I think she's got to work on her tell-all book, doesn't she? I mean, when he finally gets kicked out or steps down or whatever happens, she's not going to be able to work in the real world anymore.
There's more people that have left his administration than any other president since we've had a president.
I hope they bring Scaramucci. He was hilarious.
Who? Scaramucci?
Yeah, he was
about a week.
Yeah, because he said he went to a meeting and fucking nobody was getting anything. Standing here with my dick in my hands. He got fired. He said it on national TV. It was true, but no, you can't say that.
So when did Sarah do? I didn't know she had stepped out.
Today, She leaves at the end of the month.
Wow.
Yeah, he came out and gave his everything's fine, we're doing great. Please don't say anything. Tell them how many times I lied. Like, exit. You know how he does.
Yeah, you got to be a good company man.
Yeah.
It's like a good government man, but it's that company man thing.
Yeah,
you're one of us.
She's definitely one of them. I can't. Like, how did she come out and say half that shit with a straight face? Like, I couldn't do it.
Oh, defending Trump on most on so many levels. I have no idea.
Oh, my favorite was when she came out and was like, America does not interfere in other countries' politics. I
was like, yes, we have, and for the last 40 years we have.
Yeah, the journalists. I mean, they were like falling over each other. They didn't even know, like, getting tongue tied and trying to fucking shut her down. Hey, look, America doesn't get involved in other countries' politics. I couldn't have said that with a straight face.
Yeah. Well, they don't spy on us willingly either,
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was Obama. That was my favorite.
Clapper, man. Yeah, he couldn't. I mean, he's a bad liar. It's like, come on, dude. I mean, he was all fidgeting and he
Oh,
couldn't
that
even
was one
look
of
at
his
him straight
worst.
in the face. Come on.
That was one of his worst speeches. When you go back and look at it, if you go back and look his statement, you go back and look at it, he gives off all the telltale signs of I'm in trouble.
Yeah, big tells. He
And
shouldn't be DNI if he's going to do that. You got to do better than that.
And if you listen to when Obama talks, when he at the very end he'll like make his words extra long, and what he's doing there is giving his mind time to think, right, in the next thing that he's going to say. And he does, like when he gives that speech, he's right away, the NSA wouldn't spy on you. They wouldn't spy on anybody. We don't do that. Right? And he's got these long pauses in between, and he just draws it out because he's thinking of the next lie to say. And when he's not in that mode, he's very quick in his responses. He doesn't have that, you know what I mean, those long pauses in it. It's a real interesting video to watch, knowing that it's a complete lie. Like I think it was almost the very next day the actual evidence came out, and yeah, you did have a secret spying program going on, violating our rights, and then came out on national TV.
Yeah. So yeah. Now, I mean, he's sworn in. He's lying to Congress, and nobody gets in trouble. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like you really should. That was like huge violation, and now we can't get out from under it. Right? Like after you lie to us about it, then immediately swear that you stopped it, but we can't check because it's a secret program. Like that was all just fucked up. Well, I was going to tell you, but it's secret, and I can't let out and let the American people know all our secrets. NSA has a very important job. They're fighting terrorism.
Yeah, when the truth is you can't use classification to hide felony criminal activity. That's another
Which
crime.
is pretty much all that they use classification for. Because the things that aren't criminal, they don't have to hide. America knows who their enemies are. If you have evidence that Iran is building a super weapon, right? That's not, you want the people to know about that, right? So the things that aren't classified are normally the things that they're proud of. All of the things that are classified are the shit they're trying to hide from you. The illegal shit is what they classify. Even though they make it sound like, oh, well, we don't want our enemies to know what's going on. Why? Right? If they're ISIS, they know you're coming for them, right? If they're leadership of Al-Qaeda, they know that you're coming for them. If they don't know that you're coming for them, then they're not really your, right? So yeah, a lot of the things that they closed, the closed door meetings and all of that, it's because they're doing illegal shit back there.
Yeah, it's just the shit they tell you. I mean, it's directly in contradiction to the law. If you know anything at all, you would know it's like, well, you just lied to me. Plus, what you're doing is illegal, and nobody calls you out on it. All these reporters, they should know better. Nobody calls them out.
Oh no! Look at all of the interviews of George Bush post-war. Everything that we know now, right? Try to find a news article from from any of the big corporation that calls George Bush a war criminal. They never will. They never will.
You're 100% right. Well, except for the Dutch government. That's I think for George Bush Junior, he has an arrest warrant. Yeah, warrant in the Netherlands for him.
Well, he did when he went through, what country is that? Argentina. They could have gotten him also, and they knew it. And everybody's telling us like, hey, you guys could arrest this guy when he gets off the plane here in Argentina. And they're like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes and goes, nothing happens. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, you can literally kill millions and millions of people and just do your thing in Texas. Give some speeches to, give some talks to CNN every once in a while, right? Speak at some meetings or fucking, the convention.
Oh, shit.
And still be a straight-up war criminal.
I guess Watchman's saying Amnesty International gave up on Assange.
I'm sorry, say that again.
What?
Amnesty International gave up on Assange.
Oh, well, that's convenient, man. You just gave up. I mean, you're the guys of last resort. You just gave up.
Yeah, fuck it. Is there something? I mean, okay, so they gave up on Julian Assange. So what about Chelsea Manning? What about Reality Winter? I mean, we can go down the list of people. What about Leonard Poutier, right? Let's go through the list of people, the political prisoners that our government is holding. You plan on doing anything about any of them?
Fuck it.
Just like,
We're Amnesty International. That's what we do.
Yeah, what exactly are you doing then?
What are you doing? What do
It's
you
like
do?
it's like the Sudan thing where there's a complete media blackout, and when they went to the UN's like, well, this is a very lengthy process. It could take years for us to do anything. Well, that's helpful. Thanks.
Yeah, speaking of Assange, you know what happened?
$1 trillion budget that you're going to do nothing with.
Yeah.
What's up with Assange?
Oh yeah, speaking of Assange, so I was reading today that the UK had signed the extradition papers today, and it's rumored that there might be court tomorrow, but I've only seen that in one article. Nothing really definitive. But the extradition hearing will be very soon, and the UK is going to sign off on it to hand them over to the United States. So that's what's literally happening. It's not looking good.
Gutless. I mean, I don't know how much closer to 1984 we need to get here.
Oh, you're already there. You're past that.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. You know, with the things that we're seeing, the tactics that they're using, and the complicity, like, why is the UK going along with it? Like, that's something that bothers me so much, because I don't understand why they're going along with any of that. Those were, there were English soldiers that were going to die in those wars too.
Wait, what war?
Well, you guys know that, like, with the things that he released, the amount of continuations of the war that they were not able to achieve because of it.
Yeah,
well, it definitely tarnished the whole, ambiance they try to put out about, how angelic they are, when we go around the world and spreading all this freedom? And democracy or whatever it is we're spreading this week.
Yeah, we spread heaps of it from one side of that region to the other. You can't go anywhere without stepping in a little bit of freedom now.
Yeah, we'll get to Hong Kong soon. That's pretty big, but
we will.
That's another freedom bomb
on our list. Well, and okay, guys. So, like, we posted the video. They're marching along by the millions. The cops start kicking off tear gas.
Let me see if I still have that guy. I have a contact in Hong Kong. I just don't know what time it is.
People have been really sketchy about interviews at the moment. We've been having to kind of do it third person. Either way, at this march, right, the cops kick off the tear gas. 20 of the protesters surround the tear gas bottle, pour water bottles all over it, and then put it in these little baggies, and then keep walking. Didn't even slow down. Why don't we do that? Why haven't we been doing that?
Well, what was going on is that now Hong Kong had got its independence about 30 years ago. And now the Chinese government is saying that, and the Hong Kong government had agreed that anybody that is wanted in China will be extradited from Hong Kong to China, which is absolutely bullshit. The Hong Kong government bent over, took it up the ass for the communists, and said, "Fine, whatever you fucking say, you get." I'm like, what the fuck is that shit?
But even then, look at the outcry of the people, right? The amount of unity that they have, right, for extradition of unknown people at this point, right? They're not even, like, fighting for any single one person. And yet we'll let this go on with Julian Assange.
Yeah.
Man, what's sad? I mean, a lot of things are sad nowadays, but I mean, that really is. It's like the media doesn't care. People don't really seem to care.
Well, the last time they had,
for the most part,
the last time they had in Hong Kong, they had a protest like this, which was a couple of years ago. They went on for 4 days. I don't think that they're done protesting, and I'm getting word that they've been shooting the protesters indiscriminately for no reason. So
I know that they've been shooting into the crowds with rubber bullets to get them
Yeah.
to disperse. I haven't got any reports of them using live ammunition yet, but like I said, people have been super on being able to contact us just because of the amount of monitoring that's going on. And these guys play for keeps. So, I mean, not in necessarily always executions, but they'll put you in a deep, dark hole forever.
I have a feeling, I have a feeling that also Russia's might go back into old school communist ways. They're starting to go towards that as well. But I have a feeling that I think this is to try and get Hong Kong to get rid of its independence and become communist.
Well, I know there was. I don't know. I really don't know about any Russian bloc interference or backing or any of that. But I know a couple of days ago they had a bunch of stories on the corporate news stations about Russia being involved in Africa, right? That they were building bridges and trying to undermine American capitalism or some shit. And all that ran through my head was, oh wow, now y'all give a shit about Africa. It's like you know what I mean? It's like that girlfriend that you beat the fuck out of constantly, and then you only gave a shit about them when you see her with somebody else.
There's some pretty good connections in Russia. I mean, but
oh no, it's one of those things like, oh, you're upset that Russia's building bridges in Africa to get support. You only sent guns and bombs, mercenaries, murderers, assassins.
Only we get to do it, or we let somebody else do it, but only when we say so.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sitting back laughing like, now there's a huge Ebola breakout, right? And you guys want to talk about that the Russians might be sending medical equipment. Why aren't you sending medical equipment?
it's actually quite common. It's actually common for the Russian military whenever they're at some place, they always give care packages to the locals.
Oh, okay. Am I supposed to be upset about this, or
no?
Like, you guys hand out guns and that's it. If I want to buy Blackwater mercenaries, y'all are all for it. You'll send them by the fucking boatload, right? Plane load, truckload, anywhere you need to fucking get them. But you're upset that the Russians are giving out.
Yeah, remember
water, medication.
When they were out in Syria, the local Syrians, it was like last December, they were complaining that it was too cold. They didn't have any blankets, so the Russian military handed out like 600,000 care packages to the local Syrians.
Oh, I'm sure it should. And if you want Russian support, man, say you're cold. They understand that. You could have said, if you're saying you're hot as fuck, they're like, oh man, I don't know how to help you. And you're like, we're freezing here. They're like, I've got you, my friend. But yeah, that was the same thing. If you guys don't know from our listeners, when you hear about Russian interference in an election, specifically with the African American vote, right, with the black vote, how they did that, which our government does not talk about, is they went on their pages and they promoted black business. Right? If you were a small business that was, in the community, they promoted it on their site. So you're telling me how the Russians infiltrated our election was by supporting black business? Why don't you try that, Democrat? I'm just saying. And if your thing is, well, then it worked, then, I mean, why don't you give it a go? Try supporting black businesses on your pages and see how that works out for you.
Well, maybe that's the whole problem. See, because they didn't do it, they look bad now. It's Russian interference. They're not saying you did a bad thing. You just interfered. You did a good thing, in fact. Hey, if you're promoting black businesses, what's wrong with that? You want to do it in America? Yeah. Like you say, somebody else should have done that, before.
Yeah. It was like it's insane
only when we tell you to do it, though. See, that's the thing. It's interference.
Which is never. When it comes to black people, when it comes to poor people, it's never. Our time never comes. They're always promising it, but it never comes.
Oh, God.
But it's interesting that that's what they call interference. Oh well, they promoted thousands of black businesses, and then said don't vote for Clinton because she's corrupt and don't like black people, which is true. Did they spread lies about Hillary? No, they post nonstop truth, and it completely undermined our campaign.
Well, I can still see where they're pissed off. It's like, hey, that was like a pro-Republican message, and you fucked us. I can see why a Democrat, if you were a party Democrat, would be pissed off. I don't. I mean, they're such pieces of shit, but I mean, still in the game of politics, that's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. Shit, I hope Russian fucking interferes again. We'll get some more businesses. We'll get some more support in struggling communities.
Well, isn't this country about business? I mean, should we care? I mean, if you're here to do business, which is allegedly what we're supposed to be doing in this country and promote, so if a Russian comes over here and wants to do business, that's a bad thing now?
Oh no, that's not. We're into. They call it democracy, but what they mean is corporate socialism. That's really what they're digging. That's their thing.
So we have to have our boys, because our good old boys were not in there when this good thing kicked off. We now have to fuck it up so that we can restart it with our guys in there.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what you need to do.
But I mean, in this case, when it's such like what they did was so obvious and pretty well known, the Democrats will never do that. You'll never find a Democrat supporting black businesses. When's the last time you saw Cory Booker say anything about a black business, small business in his general, in his little town? Any of them?
No.
They got with eyes, all the eyes you can possibly matter. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, and we live in a world where they didn't do shit.
Yeah, and if you're Al Sharpton, you're a confidential informer, you're actually turning in your brother. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Way to be down for the struggle, man. Oh yeah, there's so many of them filled. I mean, I know we've got some stuff on Biden, but I don't want to get too fucking.
Oh, that was some
distracted
crazy
here.
shit that he said earlier today. I mean, holy
He says
fuck.
something crazy.
He
Again?
said some crazy shit
every day.
Crazy shit.
Is this the cancer one? Is this
Yep.
did you see what he did to CK at that meeting?
No.
Or at KC in that meeting? KC is a civil rights activist, a LGBT activist, a women's rights activist. And she asked him, what he's going to do, about women's rights, about equality, equally in pay, and all of this. And I mean, full on finger in her face. Let me tell you something, young lady. I did this, this, and this. You'll never find another person that's done more. I mean, like completely in her face, right? And then one of the other guys came up and asked him a question, and he acts like he's fucking the sweetest, nicest guy in the world. Like, it is insane the way that he, how dare you ask me a question like response? And finger almost touching her nose.
Yeah, now, why that was such a hot button is because he's flip-flopped on something here recently, pro-life basically, and he and his office can't come up with a good answer for it, So,
well,
yeah, he didn't
I would
really take
imagine
that question. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine sticking your finger in a woman's face and talking down to her at the top of your fucking lungs while standing over her was not the right response.
Well, look, hey, we have to keep you Democrats in line too. Don't ever get the idea that you can just go out and be an activist and do whatever the hell you want without our permission.
Yeah! I got kicked out. I got kicked out of the TYT rally.
I mean, you thought you had a family over there. You better wake up.
No. I'm not. Obviously not. It wasn't them specifically, but fuck, man. Definitely not the place for actual progressives. And we weren't even wearing our masks. Like, it wasn't like we were doing anything but just being progressive. I'm not exactly sure. There was literally 4 black people there, and you had your cops fucking, right, hands on guns ready to shoot them in the fucking hallway. Awesome.
Yeah, well, they're
While
protecting the public.
this is what made it crazy is they were inside of the auditorium, right, giving this whole speech on gun violence, with the school shootings and all of that stuff. So they're in there chanting against gun violence while this cop is threatening to shoot us in the fucking hallway. I don't even know where to fucking start, man.
Well, flag and banner waving is important.
Oh yeah, no, the
Those are
speech
good.
was
That's
good.
good photo
Like I know, I guess I'm not sure, man. Sync may or may not like me. I know, a couple of them have been pretty, Anna and some other people have been pretty supportive of Anons, but they definitely didn't come and fucking defend us. So I'm not sure, man. He had some good points. I do like the razzing that they gave Beto and Camilla and all of them. Like in our interview of Tulsi Gabbard. You guys can't see it from the picture from the video, but right next to us is Beto, Camilla, and Buttigieg having like a hug fest, like surrounded by media, while like the chanting and like screams of the crowd for Tulsi are like right next to them. You can't even hear the other guys talk, and they're trying to get them to sign like this version of the Green New Deal that TYT has put out. So while they were chanting "sign it, sign it, sign it," right? These guys, there should have been little like smoke sketches around them, like cartoon style, for how quickly they fucking ran down the hallway. Right? They all took pictures hugging each other and then literally ran down the hallway around, away from the people that are actually progressive. Really funny to see. Really funny to see. And the fact that you couldn't hear them talk. Fuck, Biden didn't even show up. 19, and we took like video of the street. I mean, there were thousands of people there. There was like a little Beto section, a little Camilla section, a little Tulsi section, a little Bernie section, a little Cory Booker section, right? Everybody. There was not a single Biden supporter there. Not one. Not even a guy to like, an activist with a Biden t-shirt. Not a Biden button, not a single one. Not one. And to be honest, we've been to like, between all of us on the panel, we've been to like thousands of protests. Have you ever seen a Biden sticker? Like ever?
Well, only when it was Obama Biden.
Yeah. I'll give you that. I've never seen a protest sign with a Biden quote. Like, I can't think of one time that I've been anywhere and there was an activist standing there with a Joe Biden quote. And I've seen quotes on there from just about everybody. And like, I've kind of looked online, through protest videos and all of that. I've never, ever been able to find a Biden fucking quote at a protest. And I mean, you see obscure authors, you see like, anarchists, you see absolutely, positively every kind of sign you could imagine at a protest. I've never seen a Biden protest sign.
Well, he doesn't go to any protest, does he? I mean, he's always backroom dealing.
Well, neither does Karl Marx, but you see Karl Marx fucking protest sign. Right? Like you can name anybody that you want. Shit, I've seen fucking Kenny Rogers quotes on protest signs. I've never seen a Biden quote. Like, he doesn't have to be there, just his ideas. And I don't think, even in general, what's your, ask a person that's posting Biden shit, what's your favorite Biden quote?
I can cure cancer.
No,
he
survived the cancer. What was it? Long shot or Hail Mary? How did he put it?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Cuba already has the cure for lung cancer. You planning on going to Cuba and like mouth carrying it back or something?
Well, he'll fly out there. Well, the day he has to, he will do that. But we badmouth Cuba until that point.
I am almost 100% sure he is not going to cure cancer. Look, to be honest, right? To be 100% honest with everyone, they give billions of dollars of subsidies out to pharmaceutical companies, do tons of medical research, and never require them to put any of that money into cancer research. Never. They'll give $1 billion to a company. That company will turn around and spend that $1 billion on advertising for their next fucking cancer treatment and never spend a dime of it on research for cancer. it's like 3% out of the money that they get that's put into any sort of meaningful research. The rest of it goes into advertising people's pocket. And by the people, I mean the CEO's pockets.
And it's like the Clinton Foundation kind of numbers there, man.
Yeah, like
Or
who exactly?
Creflo, your buddy Creflo.
Oh yeah, like absolutely has helped absolutely positively nobody in his entire.
I need a new jet.
No. I don't need it. God needs me to get a new jet. Right? That's the deal. I wouldn't. If it was up to me, I wouldn't take the jet. But Jesus talked to me and said I need a jet with the ostrich interior.
Yeah, because he didn't have authority. Jesus told him.
Yeah, I just talked to Jesus the other day. He told you to fucking sell it. He said, sell all that shit. Give it to the poor right now. Turn your mansions into homeless shelters. That's what he said. I prayed about it, and I shit you not. That is what Jesus fucking Christ told me to do. Y'all have no idea how serious I am about that. The amount of times that I have sit and contemplated, you know what I mean? Sat in thought, the sunrise, you know what I mean? Sat in the sunrise, just and think, what could I do? What would if those deities do exist, what would they want you to do, right? And they would want you to cure homelessness like it was a disease, right? To call out the people that are taking billions of dollars and lining their own pockets with it, right? To flog some fucking bankers that are destroying our planet. Right? To call out charlatan, right? Like Cephalodollar. Dollar. Those guys are trash on an epic scale.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not like joke about it constantly, but I really do contemplate it. Now, does Jesus whisper in my ear and tell me to fucking, do everything I possibly can to help the people around me? Absolutely not. Right? But when you sit and think about it, that's what you should do. And if you're up in heaven and Jesus asked you why you tried to end veterans' homelessness, right? That's how I would answer it. Isn't that what you would do? So yeah, to the bottom of my heart.
I can,
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Can.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. If you truly believed, you don't really need him whispering in your ear, do you? You know what you need to do. Right? So yeah, my inspiration definitely comes from that, right? I want Cephalodollar's shoe. Give me those shoes. I'll give them away to the first homeless guy I get. Those snakeskin fucking shoes, give me those shoes.
Give me those shoes, motherfucker.
Yeah, I just talked to the big JC. He said this is all his stuff, man. That suit? Yeah, that's his. Hand it over, Cephalo. Probably filled with grease, though. I'm going to have to get this fucker dry clean.
Yeah, it's time to call these guys out because, their whole behind all their bullshit is I'm holding this wealth for the day Jesus comes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Jesus doesn't need money.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm just holding on to this till Jesus gets here. I don't think you are. Where in the Bible does it say, and hold me a Ferrari?
Well, the Catholic Church says that. That's why they say that they're holding their wealth. If Creflo's doing it or the Catholic Church, what's the difference? Maybe that's what I ought to do.
It seems that God, created the entire planet with all of the resources exactly where he wanted them, no? Like, if he wanted you to have gold, you wouldn't have to dig it out of the earth. It would just appear.
I think that's true.
Right? Even with Cephalo and all of those guys, you wouldn't have to take if God wanted you to have $1 billion tomorrow, you wouldn't have to take it from your congregation, right? You'd be doing your money dance on stage, and it would literally come down raining from heaven like manna, right?
Well, he's got an advantage in the lower bottom line because he can always just produce it miraculously, right? And these guys can't do that. Like you say, they have to dig it out of the ground. That costs money. You can't.
Yeah, I don't think that's how God works. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure, right? I'm not giving you 100%. Maybe God does need a shitload of money. I don't know. It just seems like something he would mention. And it seemed to me like he he kind of said the opposite. Jesus specifically seemed to be really against all of that when you'd think that he was offered the keys to the entire world, right? All the wealth, all the power, anything that you could possibly imagine. And he said, nah, I'm good.
Oh, did we lose him?
I went too,
Oh,
I went too
Terrence,
far.
you're still there.
Yeah, I went too far. I went too far.
Hey, where's our other guest? Why are we the only three here?
Yeah, I think
John's
we had some.
sleeping.
Yeah, our time over in Europe is killer. To be honest, like it
Oh,
just
that would be
sucks that
bad.
we break it up into it's good that we break it up into two shows, that we do have the European and African wings, but like the time difference kills
Oh,
us
speaking
sometimes.
of our Sunday show, it's been canceled. I have to go do some shit on Sunday.
Oh no, that's fine, and we do have some stuff like coming up soon. So we'll have the interviews from Sudan relatively soon. We're still working all of that out. Hopefully,
Oh,
we'll
so yeah,
have some
speaking
stuff
of
for Hong
which,
Kong.
if we have any activists that are knowing or willing to set up a modem dial-up or you need help, just contact us on any of the pages that are below listed in the YouTube. I can do with what resources we have, but there is no active internet connection outside of getting a jack connection on the embassy or out in the borders because their ISP was shut down, I think today or yesterday.
Yeah, there's a complete media blackout. No internet coming in and off. Our in and out. Our contacts are all on the borders. So I mean, they're getting internet from the surrounding countries. If I'll hold on a second, because I just posted on Twitter the like raw numbers, and I do apologize. I'm going to be extremely blunt with these. There's really nothing that I can do about it. So these are kind of the numbers we've got right now from these last couple of weeks. 500 killed, 723 injured. This is from Sudan. 650 arrested. 48 women have been forcibly raped. 6 men have been forcibly raped, and 1,000 people are missing that we know about. At this very moment. Now these are like very raw numbers. But they're very good numbers. They're very close to what's going on in the ground. So I mean, if you imagine that's 2 weeks time, and to have no coverage on corporate media, so I mean to have no coverage whatsoever is insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, for people that are listening, you can put in the hashtag blue for Sudan. Or even just straight up, we've been posting it as Sudan a Sudan massacre. You can kind of get the updates that we do have coming by.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen. The military got rid of the previous administration and dissolved the government, but now they're turning into a puppet government run by the military, which we've seen happen in Africa several times, and these don't turn out very well. Usually, what happens is a civil war breaks out, and tons of civilians are killed, but 20, 30 years later, they eventually topple it, but that's not what we want to see happen in Sudan,
And that's not what was going on. So I mean, the military used the people pretty much to get themselves into power, and now brutal military dictatorship was exactly what the protesters had demanded and did not happen. This is why they wanted a civilian president or a civilian leader put into charge, even interim, why they voted and got leadership together. Like this was exactly what the fear was, and I think pretty much what happens anytime a military dictatorship takes over. Like, I mean, to be honest, the military's job is to kill people. So when they take over, don't be surprised. That's what they do. I mean, that's the military's job. Am I wrong?
They break things and kill people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that's if you want somebody that's going to build you a new country, you might have to elect a construction worker. If you elect a military, they're going to kill people. That's what they do. That's what they're trained to do. That's what you hired them to do.
Well, I mean, having the military as a political force doesn't exactly go hand in hand,
Well, I mean, they have been reached out to the United Nations. I mean, they're desperately, calling out for help. United Nations told them it could be years before we can do anything for you. Awesome.
I'm pretty sure most of this is going on because of that general out in Sudan. I forget what the fuck his name is.
The
I think he's general for
Isn't
the
Loki
army.
plugged in on that one? Wouldn't he know something?
I'm pretty sure he had all of this planned.
Well, I mean, I know there was there were several opposition leaders. A lot of them have had when the military took over, they had to leave the country. I mean, their lives are in danger. I don't know which one because there's several generals that are around. I know that I think it's Abakar is one of them that's in charge at the moment. So these guys, they pushed all the way into war crimes. There's no real getting around it. But there's it's a military dictatorship, so there's several people that are involved. And I don't know a lot about their backstory other than their position now.
Yeah.
But we do have some people that are willing to interview. It's just getting internet and then the safety thing. I mean, we have to go through 3-4 steps to make sure that they're not hunted down and murdered.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to happen on a dial-up connection.
Yeah. There's people that are traveling back and forth, but traveling between the countries is extremely difficult. A lot of the other countries around them are worried about huge amounts of refugees going in any direction when refugees are moved between a lot of these countries when stuff like this happens. People try to run to safety, and even that's becoming extremely difficult. Where a lot of these guys are dual citizens or businessmen that are traveling back and forth and just relaying information for us, airlines.
Yeah.
But we will have some updates here as soon as we can get to these. Same as in, just we deal with it a little different. America, I guess, anybody that's speaking out puts themselves in extreme danger. That's what we're seeing Julian Assange as well. So it's not like, they're any more scared than, people that are putting out information now. When you go down the list, Reality Winner, they do the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. We might also throw Jeremy Hammond into that boat because his name showed up in the indictment along with Hector Guzman from Sabu from the Rat from Walsek. So.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, the other day too.
Hector Guzman, it's Hector Montague. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the guy that they're always toting as the real Mr. Robot and all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Ugh. But
no, the real Mr. Robot would be Lazarus.
That's what I said too. But
North Korean hacking group would probably be the real Lazarus. I mean the real Mr. Robot.
That's what I think we've talked about that before. But yeah, the corporate media loves to push him out. It's just like a moment in pop culture that they kind of capitalized on.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same way they do right before the 5th of September. All of a sudden, everybody's in nons.
Yeah, right.
Where were you guys for the rest of the fucking year?
Well, it's kind of like church. You go there on Sunday, and then you're only good that while you're there. Then you go out the doors and back to normal.
Yeah, no, I'm not downing anybody that comes out on the 5th. I'm just saying there's a whole 365 days a year. We need your help as well. It should be November 5th every day.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the 5th to go on go protest. You can protest any day.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities. This extradition to the U.S. is a great opportunity. Get your mask, get your people, hit the streets.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of shit to protest here in the United States. We got Chelsea Manning. We have Julian Assange. We have what's going on in Sudan.
Well, and I mean, I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I mean, like, they're like honestly, they're doing everything they can to bury any news about Reality Winner, and it's not even mentioned in the in the other people that they're mentioning that are connected to it. It seems like they've got
That's
this,
right, because Reality Winner's case is classified.
Yeah, they never classify anything good that they're doing. That's for sure.
Same with Matt DeHart. Matt DeHart's birthday was June 11th. Happy birthday, Matt. Leanne DeHart, if you're listening,
happy birthday.
He was supposed to get out. I think he's supposed to get out in December. I think. Possibly.
Well, yeah, I definitely hope so. I mean, what we've seen that they'll do, this is something they've done with like Red Fawn a lot, is they'll dangle that freedom in front of you for a couple of weeks and then lock you back up to try to get either make a point or to punish you more, or to get you to to say something or to talk or to say what they want you to.
Yeah.
Well, just in case you forgot what's freedom like, we'll let you rock around for, and then we'll send heavily armed assholes to your house to rearrest you. Right? You have.
So is that what they did to Red Fawn? They let her go and then locked her up again?
Yeah, and then they told her, and this is what's crazy. On the last time that they locked her up, the reason that they locked her up is because they told her to get her GED, and she's a grown ass woman. If I don't want to get my GED, I don't have to. Yeah, so immediately.
Like that. It's similar. He was they told him he had to file an income tax return and get a state ID.
Yeah,
like,
where
does that have
does
to do with my case? Like,
yeah, where does it say that in my Constitution? I'm looking, I don't see it. Yeah, so I mean, they play games where they'll give you freedom to force you to do everything. So they want her to say that she brought a gun, even though she didn't. She never touched the gun. Right? The officer got it out and tried to shoot her, and it just happened that the other officers around him didn't react the same way. So I mean, in the at the line, this cop took out his gun, tried to shoot her, right, and then tried to blame it like she had one, where it turned out to be the officer's gun, and her fingerprints are not anywhere on it. And it's impossible for you to take somebody's gun and not have your fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
And at first, their first story was that she had an illegal firearm and blah, 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 that she had somehow brought a gun to this protest. And then it turns out, no, it was just the cop's gun. Like, he took it out, tried to shoot her, and it didn't
they're
happen.
arresting people protesting in Australia now. The only thing I can think of is Stop Adani. In Australia, there's a coal mine. We've had them on the show before.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. They were protesting a coal mine, and they use guerrilla tactics when they're protesting, so I'm not surprised that they're getting arrested. They're saying it's for Julian. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that I don't know. That I haven't heard of anybody getting arrested for protesting for Julian. Let me see. Let me get on my Australian VPN on, because that's the only way I can see news over there.
Yeah, otherwise we're stuck by region for some reason.
Australia.
I think they're protesting outside the UK consulate.
Let me see. Australia. Let me see. Julian Assange protests. Julian Assange protests.
Yeah, so I think they're talking about the consulate protests, but I'm not 100% sure either.
Let me see. It says New Zealand protests oppose prosecution of Julian Assange, British Home Security. I'm getting. Wow, Google's AI is pretty smart. It doesn't even know that I even switched to Australia. That's stupid. Yeah, Stephanie. It's put a link down, and we'll look at it.
Yeah, like I see the New Zealand protests here, and the consulate protests. But yeah, please put a link down here because unfortunately, with the with the new region locks, they keep it so that you can only see news from your area, from your IP. So I mean, we end up having to VPN to places to make sure that we're getting real news from around the world.
Oh, Stephanie, I don't have access to that direct access to that account. You're gonna have to send in the YouTube chat. Yeah.
Nah, we'll get it. We'll get it, and we'll get everybody updated here. I don't know. I think there's a couple of good stories as well in the news. I know not everything is doom and gloom. Do we want to talk about India's moon missions?
Yeah. So India. Oh, it says some YouTube channels don't allow links. I think we allow links here. Yeah. So India wants to set up a moon base, and they already have a cellular network on the moon. So they're going to the moon in July. They will be the fifth nation to go to the moon. So
Well, and I know the Israeli lander had to pull back off. That one actually didn't end up landing.
that one
But
crashed. That one crashed into the moon.
yeah, but have they landed there before? Like I know there are several countries, and unfortunately, I can't name. I don't know
China,
which all
Russia,
of them was.
U.S., India, and Israel.
Okay, yeah, that's
Now
what I
India.
thought.
Now India.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, that's cool. I mean, at the end of the day, America has no real right over space travel any than more than any other human. So I don't this weird like we have to control space because it's ours. I think is extremely flawed. Colonialism's over. You don't own the moon. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Hey, man, you're not seeing the opportunity here, man. This is like the Federation of Planets, and we're going to be colonizing other planets. I mean,
Well,
you know what
yeah.
colonizing is like.
I don't think that we're going to do well colonizing other planets because colonization hasn't gone well on our planet. So we're probably going to have to get over that to travel the galaxy, the universe. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's just the oppressor mentality, right? Everything I see, I gotta own. I gotta own it. I gotta own it. I gotta own the moon. The moon. Like that's fucking crazy talk. Like that is actual craziness. Like, can you imagine somebody walking around? Like, if I go walking down the street and tell people that I own the moon, that is crazy. But because you've got a suit and tie on, that's completely normal. We need to start immediate mining of the moon. But doesn't the moon's weight control our tides? Doesn't the moon have to be like a specific weight so that it doesn't fuck everything up? Don't touch the moon. Don't just leave it alone. Don't touch stuff. Shh, shh, stop. Shh. But it's just a weird proclamation to make. I own the moon. No, you don't. That's weird.
You bought it from who?
Manifest Destiny, I think, is what they use when you ask them that question.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It was always supposed to be mine. No, you're a crazy person. Like that goes that goes into like actual crazy greed when you start saying things like you own space, the heavens, like you. That's not like no, go away. Space Force.
I mean, they can't even get their shit together on this planet. I mean, what?
Yeah, who are you planning on going to war
mean-
with? You're going to false flag the aliens? Is that how this is going to work? Did
Yeah.
you not see
Yeah.
they shot?
It's the only thing they know. Yeah,
Well,
we're
they
gonna
have
pull
they have
some shit on
helium-3,
them.
which is good for nuclear fuel. So
Yeah, but we all. I mean, like, at what point? It's not like the sun doesn't put off enough energy for us to power our entire planet already.
oh, here we go.
And
Yeah. So I'm seeing people being arrested for protesting Julian Assange in outside Victoria. Okay.
yeah, stay on it, guys. Like, make sure that every step of the way, it is the biggest fucking headache that they've ever had. You know what I mean? Like, you hit their emails, hit their Facebook, their Twitters, right? That, every single social media call, like your officials' offices, protests, do sit-ins, right? Absolutely, positively everything to keep our rights to free speech, right? To free and open journalism. Like, we cannot let this happen.
We try to stop it, but it's happening.
Yeah, but try and do our different thing.
Yeah. That's
Right.
true.
When you look at what Hong Kong's doing about extradition, I mean everybody. It doesn't matter if you like Julian Assange or not. It's not really about him. He's not doing it because it's about him. Right? You're standing up and hitting the streets because it's about free and open journalism.
Yeah.
In a big way. But yeah, I mean, don't talk about it. Just fucking like actually do it. We need like millions of people posting and messaging, and so that they can't get away from it. It becomes such an unpopular moment that if you're not on Julian Assange's side, you don't get elected. And these guys will do anything to get elected. And although, man, I love me some Bernie Sanders, but he refuses to say Julian Assange's name, and that really pisses me off.
Wow, that's right. Yeah, he doesn't go there at all, does he?
Well, he posts he's posted a couple when things are going down, like that alludes to it, but he refuses to mention Julian's name, and it really pisses me off every time he does it. Like, we know who you're talking about, right? Like, we know what's going on. Everybody, the reason that you're posting about it is because everybody's talking about what's going on. Say his name. And that goes into these activist things where they like to put these overarching, ideas that have no teeth, no policy. The people that they killed have names. Say their names. The people that are arrested have names. That makes them human. Right? Otherwise, you get, distracted in politics and policies, and nothing ever gets done. And it comes from leaders playing those kind of games. Like, my question is, why aren't you saying his name? You know what it is. You're posting about it. You know what the issue is. So yeah, besides Tulsi Gabbard, the Democrats refuse to say his name.
Let's see. He made them look bad. Well, he's
Bummer.
the one they're blaming for all the hacking and everything. They can't talk about it.
Well, I mean, some of that you have to look. I mean, I don't. You guys know, whether it makes me popular or unpopular. I don't think that your opinions, should be counted any less. I'm not really doing it for popularity. I support Bernie Sanders, but no, what lost you the election is you supported Hillary Clinton. Never ever do that. Like I hope you learned your lesson. I don't know what to tell you, but don't support the corrupt ever. That's why people are electing you, because you refuse to serve the corrupt. If you're going to just jump on board with the corruption at the last moment, that's why you lost the election. That's why we lost the election. And until you come to terms with that and quit trying to blame it on the Russians the Russians got on there and posted truth about Hillary Clinton. The reason that you lost is because you ran Hillary Clinton. Right? The Russians got on and posted and supported black businesses. Support fucking black businesses. How hard is that? So you get into these like these things. People aren't respecting you because you pussyfoot around about Julian Assange. And that's on like a bunch of stuff. So yeah, like I I don't like that environment party where it's everybody's fault election against Donald Trump. All you had to do was tell the truth. That's all you had to do.
That's hard for a politician.
Oh, it's super hard.
I just checked my mail. You know what I just got a letter from?
Oh,
IRS.
Is it a cease and desist order?
No,
from
you
Dollar?
remember?
I get those a lot.
You remember the
Your
DM?
ex-wife.
Remember how the DMV was having problems in on the West Coast with those real IDs and shit like that?
Yeah.
So they're mailing me a letter to my house to see if I'm a real person.
Tell them no. I'm not.
Yeah, that's exactly. This says yes or no.
No. No. I am not a real person. I'm a figment of your imagination.
I choose to remain anonymous.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like you're good. You got my social security number, my ID card, my hunting license, my fishing license, my car registration, my insurance, all of my personal information, my searching habits, my search history, my Facebook and social media likes and dislikes. I think you're good. You don't need any more. Like, I don't know, there's something that I definitely would like to know the numbers on, and maybe we can go through and crunch some a little bit later, but at what point do you have all the information?
Well, especially when they're all letting all these.
I had to go
illegals-
to the DMV, show them my birth certificate, show them my social security card, show them the letters from the IRS, show them this, show them that, show them my passport, and then they said my real ID was verified. Now I get a letter to my house to see if I'm really who I say I am. The fuck?
Well, what they need you to do is to send in the swab from your DNA test so they can connect your DNA, your bio registration to your social security.
It's like Jesus Christ, like I know, like Jesus, like fuck.
DNA and
Did you
and
not? Did you not give them your colon map? Everybody's got to give them their colon map now. That's what's hot.
and a dick pic.
Or can you send it? Can you send it in in widescreen panoramic?
Send it to Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook.com.
Jesus Christ.
He's the only person I'm telling you guys, he's the only person on the internet that enjoys dick pics. So send all of your dick pics to Zuckerberg.
He'll have his fact checkers come over and make sure.
Oh, I say I am who I say I am.
Come on, don't come on. Let's be honest. Like, Facebook already has all your dick pics.
No, actually they don't, but
Like,
well, actually, I don't know, because they when you allowed access to your photos on certain versions of Facebook, they did have access to certain things that you had in your operating system in your phone. So that's just food for thought.
yeah. Like, I mean, for all of those, they got all your devices watching you, fucking all of that stuff. Look, when I'm getting to it, when I'm making love, take notes, man. If you're gonna sit there and watch, you might as well take note. Like, I wonder if they ever, like, he's sitting down there with a pen and a pad right now. Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. See that rhythm with the stroke? Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want. Get in there. It's weird for people to, like, want to sit around and watch other people live their lives. Like, why would you want to do that? I'm happy with other people doing their own thing.
Well, you have psychological issues is what you got.
I'm pretty sure you do. Like, if you're obsessed to the point where you create entire, systems to watch people's daily lives, that goes to complete. Yeah, I think that's a mental disorder.
Bet you he does the same thing to his wife. Oh, brunch.
Can't believe he has time.
He's like, "Are you cheating on me?" You're not cheating on me. I already know. I was already going through your phone at work.
Cheating would be going to Twitter.
Oh!
If you're a Facebook person and you have a Twitter account.
Oh!
Ouch.
Dude, one of these days, I really just want to drive up to Menlo Park and just prank them, you know?
I think, like, I don't know, life seems to be pranking him enough as it is. Like, I mean, he does, I guess in comparison, I guess he's got money, right? But
you know what?
pretty
I
sure
was actually telling
that's it.
I was telling one of my friends this like today, and they didn't know. I'm like, I was telling them that the address for Instagram is the same as Facebook, and they didn't understand why. And I said because they're owned by the same company, and they both have business offices at One Hacker Way in Menlo Park. And my friend's like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, oh my God, you really don't know that Facebook is owned by Instagram?
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think a lot of people do.
Oh yeah, there's even some worse shit I got on Facebook now. Since they acquired WhatsApp and the new Israeli hack, which is not really a hack because Mark Zuckerberg kind of knew what was going on, and he bought the AI security system from an Israeli military defense team. So when the Israeli WhatsApp hack had gone on, now that they're saying in a public statement that they will be suing and notifying authorities of illegal activity on WhatsApp, the same application that Mark Zuckerberg, once he had acquired it, which is only a messaging and calling platform, that he wanted to monitor and sell the data of people's phone calls and text messages. Which
how is that I don't know, how is that like you messaging your friends? Like, what is the benefit of that? Hey man, what's going on? You gonna be there on Thursday? Yup. Like, what is it? You spent all that money to find that out?
I think it's bizarre.
14-year-old girls are messaging people back and forth. Like, I don't understand the point.
Like, I understand that the platform has to pay for itself somehow, and I get it. But when you're collecting data on a supposed encrypted platform that is only designed for people's most intimate things, such as messaging and calling people, which is all it's designed to do, why would you be trying to collect their data when it was supposedly quote unquote encrypted, which it really wasn't? And I don't get it. That's bizarre.
Well, you'd have to be a corporate dick, and then you would get it.
Then it would be super clear app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see, like, I don't point to it. Like, okay, you know what every 14-year-old girl on Instagram talking about. So how does that help you in life? Like, how does that? I don't get it. Like, you could find the same amount of information walking around the mall, right? Oh, I bet you they're talking about shoes and makeup.
Maybe he's like Creepy Joe.
Oh, he is creepy as fuck. Not maybe, but definitely creepy as fuck. Joe's creepy in a completely different way.
Joe's creepy in a pedophile way, right?
Yeah, he definitely puts off a super creepo vibe. And that smile, I know he thinks is like $1 million smile. It really just looks like a creepy fucking uncle smile. Like, you're not smiling like, yeah. Well, no, in the way that a crocodile smiles at him. Nothing good happens from him.
That's the corporate shark look.
Yeah,
but that's like the pedo. He what's weird is he doesn't have the pedo mustache, but he should.
Well, it just immediately reminds me of that old proverb, right? Just because somebody smiles at you does not make them your friend. And I see that every single time I see something from Joe Biden and he's got that fake ass smile. Like, that's the deal. You got a fake ass smile, a fake ass tan, fake ass hair, right? Like, everything about you is fake. Your policies are fake on top of it.
Yeah, I remember Obama had a hard time shutting him up all the time.
Oh yeah, and like did you guys see the post, his best friend's post?
No, I didn't see this.
So he made like it was on Best Friends Day or Bestest, and he was all like, "Oh, this is to my number one BFF, Barack Obama," and then he had a friendship bracelet with Obama on one and Biden on the other. The hilarious thing is Obama didn't answer. Right, so like you called him out as being your best friend, and he didn't even like the post, and he saw it. Now first of all, you are a 70-year-old man, okay? You don't really need to be sending out BFF fucking messages to Barack Obama.
Brahma's like,
right?
what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, it just made absolutely no sense. And then he didn't answer it, didn't like it, didn't retweet it, absolutely nothing. And originally, when I wrote Biden on this, I was joking and was all like, "Oh, did you guys get fake? Did you guys get matching lockets made? 2 little hearts that you guys put together?" But then when I looked at the picture, I saw that he actually had the friendship bracelet, and then I was like, "Oh my god, this cannot be real." I can only imagine Obama looking at his phone and being like, "What the fuck is this?" Even when he was asked, like, he's all like, "Oh, how do you feel about Biden?" And Obama's all like, he was vice president or something. What? Like, what an answer was that? Yeah, I heard of the guy. Did everything possible to fuck up my administration. I'm 8 years, and the only stupid stuff said by Biden. Yeah, acted like he didn't even know who he was. Went back to jet skiing and skydiving, or whatever Obama's doing right now. Yeah, that's bad when you act like your vice president didn't exist. Who? Biden? Yeah, he worked in the White House or something, didn't he? Yeah, I think I remember him. He had a Corvette or something. Yeah, I remember the guy.
Yeah, he was the drunk court jester in that other part of the building.
Yeah. No love. But I mean, it's completely true. Like, through the Obama administration, the stupidest shit fucking said was all said by... Like, it was nonstop. And even now, so his campaign manager came out and said that the only the way he's going to win this election is by making no public appearances. None whatsoever. Like, no public appearances, no off the cuff interviews, nothing. Wow. Just the only way we're going to win this is if we keep him completely and utterly quiet. And since then, he has accosted several female activists. Gave a weird massage to a young girl at his at his first speech, and then said he was going to cure cancer on the lap. He is killing it.
He just can't help himself, man. The guy is who he is, right? I mean, he's 70 years old. He ain't gonna change nothing.
Well, totally, I agree, and that's why I don't think anybody's going to vote for him, is because in 70 years he has not changed anything. In 30 years working in government, you could have got a lot of shit done. You didn't. Nothing, really. Nothing good. So, yeah, I mean, that's sad when campaign manager his advice is for you to have no contact with the public. Only way you're going to get elected, because every time you open mouth, it becomes less popular. And I didn't think that was possible, being that he is already the least popular candidate running. I saw people that said they would. Yeah, I saw people that would never. As he started running, were saying things like, "I'll vote for Warren or Kamala." But no, he is probably the most. If you thought that they could find anybody less likable than Clinton, there you go. You did it. Is there a bad idea factory?
Similar type of criminal. Yeah, we have a lot of the same things going on.
Oh yeah, connected to all the same people, much of the same policies. It's disturbing how close they are for the things you don't like. It's like they put Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton together, and that gives you Joe Biden.
Well, he was there with the rest of them when they were watching the Benghazi drone. Try to get everybody killed over there. I mean,
Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
he was already right on for fucking Venezuela. Boom, on board with the Republicans right away. So yeah, I mean, even when given the opportunity in 2019 to stand up against war, always on the wrong side. Pick an issue, Joe Biden's on the wrong side of it. Any issue you want, any issue you want, and he's on the wrong side of it. I mean, I'm talking everything: abortion rights, the crime bill, women's rights, right? Shit, the dude opened up his very first speech to the U.S. Senate was about segregation. Against segregation? No, for segregation in 1970.
Golly.
Yeah, marijuana legislation. 3 strikes, you're out, right? NAFTA, fucking NAFTA, right? What was the before they started with ACTA, the TPP. Boom, Biden on board. Every single bad decision. The Iraq War, the war in Kuwait, our move into Somalia, name it, Joe Biden there making the wrong decision.
Well, he's got 100% A rating with somebody. I don't know who.
I'm sure they're very bad people.
Goldman Sachs. A
Yeah,
rating.
that would be the
do it.
people. That would be the bad people.
You know, the CFR think tank, that's A rating. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, I think it's weird the way that our system is broken up because he is definitely a central Republican. You know, by all real meaning of the definition, he is a Republican, not a conservative, a Republican. I mean, I think he is really a good label is Bush Light. Like I said, he does have that. If you could take Bill Clinton's kind of sleazy charisma and match it with the corporate and banking interest of Hillary Clinton and roll them into one person, boom, Joe Biden.
That's why they keep guys like him around. Somebody you can count on when the chips are down.
Yeah, I mean, even when you see the amount of people that jumped, I mean, I don't know, it's sickening. So, I mean, the more and more information, I mean, as much as has been said that can be said about the 2016 election, and they run the same thing and do the same thing over and over again. Like they learn nothing, right? Nonstop fake polls. How many polls have you seen that put Biden at the top? Biden surges in the polls. Biden is the front runner. Is he the front runner or surging in the polls? Because you can't be both. Right? You're either on your way up in the underdog, right? Or you're at the top. You can't be both. But yet, I mean, they constantly, we can go down some of the names here that are just, I mean, blatant propaganda. And every single one of them spit the same lie over and over. Same lying ass numbers and expects us to swallow it. Fucking Biden can barely fit, like his last picture is like a Denny's. Not even a Denny's, it's like a little coffee shop and it's not even full. There's empty chairs. Nobody even showed up, right, to support him outside of the staff that's sitting next to him. If Bernie Sanders went to your local fucking coffee shop, it would be packed. There would have to be security to make sure that he can get in and out to his car from the amount of people that would show up. Biden can have a leisurely fucking conversation with grandma, right, at the table because nobody supports him. Like I said, imagine, I mean, he just had a meeting. He just had a fucking, I guess what you call it, a rally. There's 5 guys at a table, all of them over the age of 70.
Wasn't everybody else digitally entered? Like
just nobody.
Like CG?
Oh, no, they don't even, these are straight up empty seats. There's like 5 people at the table, some journalists. The last actual rally that he had, there were more like journalists there and staff than there were supporters. Half of the room was staff, about 25 people, right? The other half was all corporate media. I mean, just cameras and cameras and cameras. His paid staff were there, and there's 25 people that were there to see Joe Biden. 25 people. Can you imagine? Has Bernie Sanders taken a shit with less than 25 people around him?
No.
Yeah, insane. 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 And this is the front runner. Whatever. And the people that say that you don't immediately call out as being corrupt. They're lying to you and calling themselves fucking media to your face. Like you can't look out your window. The pen is blue. Like if we just say that he's the front runner enough, nobody will notice, right? Or will buy into it. Where I mean, fuck, man, I can't get over what he did to Casey, man. That was fucked up.
The votes are they're not counted right, and it's already prearranged, and whoever they want to win will win.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to fly this time. Like, I think that's one of their problems is none of these games are working anymore. They don't control social media no matter how much they want to.
But they do control the voting systems.
To an extent. There comes a point where you overwhelm it, where you just, and that's something that comes a point where you can't gerrymander anymore. It doesn't matter. The 4 guys you have standing there don't have enough votes. So, I mean, it comes to a point where you have to overwhelm the system. You got to beat them by tens of thousands of votes. You got to beat them by millions of votes. You have to make that no so fucking clear that they can't wiggle. And with Biden, it is a hard no. There isn't like a hard no plus. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like this thing only goes up to 100% no. Right? I don't know how we can get this thing any higher than fuck no. No way in hell. Never. No. Are you sure you don't want some Biden? No. Come on. No, dude, go away. But I'm super popular. You're not. Nobody likes you. Go away.
Well, don't worry. They're going to have Rachel Maddow as the moderator at the DNC debates.
Yeah, I hope that goes to a no-hold-barred, fight to the death. Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders back to back, just stomping them. Go, get them.
I mean, with Donna Brazile gone, what's Joe going to do? He's got to work with. There's nobody to work with. Well, I'm sure there is. He'll find some way to get the answers beforehand.
He'll get the answers beforehand. I mean, I don't know if that's going to help him. With the other ones, getting the answers ahead of time would probably, would help them. With Biden, it's not going to help you to know the answers. If you don't come out and say Medicare for all, that's the end of your political campaign. That's it. That's been the end of all of them.
He says he'll cure cancer. So I think that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I don't believe you.
He says he survived the cancer moonshot. I finally found the headline. Cancer moonshot.
What the fuck does that mean?
You'd have to ask John McAfee. He's probably the only guy that can.
Yeah, the only guy that's high enough to understand that. And like I said before, if your thing was, Joe Biden, that you're going to cure cancer, what took you so long? You were in government for 30 years. You never demanded Pfizer do anything about it. Right? You let them line their pockets. You let them advertise for every drug known to man, drugs that you knew were going to kill people, gave them billions of dollars in subsidies, and never demanded that they cure cancer, ever.
We actually do have cures, but they've been shot down by the FDA. The FDA will not agree that CBD will shrink tumors and reverse the cell division of cancer cells.
We're running out of things that would cure cancer. You know what I mean? Like at this point, it seems like if you put enough research into fucking anything, it'll cure cancer.
Yeah.
It's almost like you guys had no intention of.
Well, here's the deal. And what is it now? 60, 70 years? That their recovery and prognosis, is the same as it was in the 1950s.
Yeah. In some cases, it's gotten worse. So, I mean, that's a reality. The reason that that cancer isn't cured is not because it's incurable. It's because they've done everything they could to hold it back, and our government officials supported them. And one of the government officials that did that was Joe Biden. Oh, now you want to do something. Thanks, man. Thanks. Wow. Only took you till 2019 to figure it out.
That's hope and change you can believe in.
Yeah, you're gonna open up the war on cancer, right? Maybe make a like you do the NSA, have $1 trillion budget, end it tomorrow. No. Let me guess, you're gonna make a committee. Yeah, so I mean, I believe that, you know, it's one of those things. You've worked in politics for 30 years. So let's say that you know you want to have some like background. Name the other things that you've cured, like the other ills of American society that in those 30 years you've fixed. Any of them.
We need
Not like you
Medicare.
haven't
We
had the
need
time.
Medicare for all.
No, I remember they pushed the ACA, which was just a fucking scam. So that wasn't it. And he refuses to say, right, Medicare for all,
Well,
right, single
United
payer.
States has third world problems when it comes to medical care. People literally go bankrupt trying to get well. That doesn't happen in Europe. That doesn't happen in Canada. That doesn't happen in first world countries in South America who have socialized medicine. We
Oh
are
yeah,
a first world nation with third world problems when it comes to healthcare because healthcare is not a right.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been to places in the inner city that their medical systems are worse than I've been to in emerging nations in third world countries, for sure. You know, when you know, look, Cambodia counts as a third world nation. They've got socialized healthcare, right?
Yep.
Fiji's got socialized healthcare.
Israel.
Somalia's got fucking socialized healthcare. Right? You can go to any hospital. If you get to the hospital, you can go to any hospital and they will treat you.
Yep.
Right? It's like, you know, we do like to put that you know, it's like we've got a third world, but no, most emerging nations have got actual health care. Are they the best systems? No, like the IMF makes sure of that.
Yes, but you don't go
they've got
bankrupt. You don't
healthcare.
go bankrupt trying to get surgery or get your bone fixed or get oncology. You don't go bankrupt fighting your illness.
Yeah, see, our pharmaceutical companies have spent more money figuring out the most that you will pay for treatment than they've spent in researching cures.
You know on average, you know how much it costs to do chemotherapy?
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
About $100,000.
Yeah,
The average American makes about $50,000. That's a median income. The average American cannot pay it.
No, you're not thinking. If you mortgage your house, right? That's step one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people end up. That's the deal. They have figured out it's like 120,000 that your average American, sinking everything they have, right, will be able to do to save your wife, your kids, right? They know you will do anything to save them. Anything. So most people do. They go through all of their savings and they go through their house. They go through everything they can to try to save your kid, as you would to try to save your wife or your husband, right? Or your mother. You would do anything. You'd sell everything that you have to do it. And they figured that out to be about $120,000.
Well, in the new fascist empire, I mean, you get fascist healthcare.
Oh yeah, it's even the way that they were handling it before. Like, you can already not afford fucking healthcare, and now you're gonna like give me a fine on top of it. Thanks.
Because we love you.
Yeah, rather than actually give everybody medical care, Medicaid for all. You don't have to sign up for shit. If you're sick, go to the hospital.
Yeah, because in this country, it's too big to fail. You're too little to give a fuck about.
Yeah, that is the fucking.
That's how it works.
Where it literally should be the other way around. It really should.
Yeah, gone. Individual rights are gone. You know, now if Facebook wants to treat you like shit, turn you to the government and create a deep fake video on you to set you up, that's okay. Because this is America. That's what's possible.
Yeah, it's the one-way street mentality. It's all for them and nothing for you.
Basically.
You know, you think of that. You have the housing market that was going under. They were too big to fail. Where, look, if you fail, that's really not my problem. We got homeless people in America. I'll take every one of those houses later.
Yeah, we got laws for that. It's called bankruptcy. You guys can go bankrupt, and we'll pick up the pieces later. But you're going bankrupt.
Yeah, even that. I mean, I'm sorry that your business failed. That sucks. When it was the hardware down the street, right? When it was the small businesses that were the lifeblood of our economy, you didn't give a fuck, right? Instead, you gave every last one of them. Sorry, man. That's unfortunate. So I guess we'll just take these houses and give them to the people that would need them most.
Yeah, the rich. That's what's important. I mean, you know, that's what you can. Yeah, because see, too big to fail sounded better than the truth, which was you're too little to give a shit about. They couldn't tell you that because that's the truth.
Yeah, Yeah,
So
I
they
agree.
had to come up with the other slogan, too big to fail.
Yeah, I'm like personally, I'm not buying it. If Fannie Mae goes out of business, right? Those all houses have plenty of uses. I'm sorry that your corrupt banking industry didn't work out for you. I really am.
Because
You
nothing
might,
says free market like too big to fail. I mean, if that isn't a giveaway slogan,
yeah, and I mean, like look, if your thing is that you hate socialism, I don't. Why would you bail out a giant corporation? That is not capitalism. Right? The capitalism says that, look, if you can't do it, another company that can do it will replace you. I will start a brokerage hooking up fucking people with houses in a heartbeat that may be more successful than your corrupt banking industry. But I mean, from my perspective, we bought those houses already. Like we bought
that's
every
right. That's
last
our
one
money.
of them.
That's right. It is our money.
But yet that is Biden, right? He was part of that game, right? In that, you didn't think to maybe work it into the fucking, 50, 100,000 the homeless people you have in your city? That didn't cross your mind at all? They told you they had 500,000 empty houses and you didn't think, I wonder if we could use those for homeless veterans. That didn't cross your mind not fucking once? Greedy son of a bitch.
I mean, if his boy would just give up half of his cocaine habit, look at how much money you'd have to spend on homeless people.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to give up that cocaine problem. I'm going to be honest with you. Only thing, they got a lot of money and makes you stop doing cocaine is that you stop having money.
Oh, like that guy from Metalocalypse. I do cocaine.
Wow, I haven't thought about that show in forever. Was that a documentary about 2019 or
It was I think it was Rocco, the cocaine using clown.
Yeah. Oh, I love that show. They tour. If you guys like, they have
I've seen them live.
like a cover band that. I'm jealous. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I went to a show and Iron Maiden was supposed to play, but they didn't make it. So Metalocalypse was on instead for the headliner. I was like, okay, that was fucking cool.
Yeah, that is super cool. Because I mean, the show and then the like I said, it's like a cover band kind of. Do the guys that do the show all look exactly like them?
No, the lead singer is bald. But like when they do the lyrics,
They sound exactly
no,
like them.
what they do is
Oh.
they put the music video from the cartoon, and their
Okay.
lips move with the vocals, which are the most bizarre shit. So they got their timing down. It's like on cue. So they have a
So they
cartoon, cartoon going in the background as they're doing the song live time. So they look like they're the cartoon characters on the screen. And I'm like, holy shit, their timing's like really good.
Oh, so it's kind of like a table reading, where you kind of see, behind the scenes and what's going on, the
Yeah.
final product in the same place. That is super cool. Would you like some coffee?
I would like some coffee.
A sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was cool. Over the top, fun show. Not for the kids. Not for the kids.
I do
Before you go-
cocaine.
Yeah, before you go out and. Oh, ABB said this was a fun show. Cover Timmy's eyes. Cover Timmy's eyes. Oh God, cover his ears.
I still send out to my friends when they have birthdays, happy birthday, happy death day, that music video that they put
Yeah.
out. I send it to all my friends. They go, what the fuck was that? I said, happy fucking birthday.
Yeah, I always sing the would you like some coffee? All right, and off track.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few more. We got quite a few more things to go through here. How are we doing on time?
We got some more subjects in the Discord chat, which were put down by our promoter. Let me see. Journalist
We have a
got
promoter?
assassinated by police in Haiti for exposing corruption by police. I'm not following that.
Yeah, I don't know I mean, Haiti's in a bad spot. You know, there is a lot of government corruption. Um, there's all sorts of reasons for it. Some of it external, some of it internal. Um, all of the problems that come with extremes, the extreme struggle, the extreme poverty, affect Haiti, and it's a dangerous place for journalists because of it. You know, people that are corrupt hate being called out for being corrupt, and the more power they have, the more likely they are to use it. So if you give them the power to kill people, they will do it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Haiti, it's had so much against it. Like I said, some of it internal, some of it external, but just so many things stacked against it. That's not a surprising story. It happens a lot for people that are exposing government and police corruption. Um, it's unfortunate, you know, and we get so distracted with fighting our own battles. You know, it's some hard, you know, these stories slip through the cracks where they should be exposed. You know, just as much as they are, you know, in the backyard. Justice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's a lot going on in Haiti. I mean, we could do. I'd eventually like to get some people that were involved in the building projects on here, so people can see, you know, some of the reasons why this all went down. You know,
Yeah.
jobs are a problem. You know, the people end up get used for farming, still for sugarcane in some cases. It's just a nightmare. And hard to get back out of. Where on the same note, it's an absolute beautiful island. Just amazing people. You know, that you always the most amazing people in the worst situations. That's just the way it is right now. Yeah, as sad as that is. I don't see that one on our list, but I will get as much information as I possibly can here. I do have quite a few contacts
See
in
what's
Haiti.
happening. New amnesty law made in North Korea made 100 political prisoners, including journalists, set free.
Oh, and did Kim Jong Un go along with that, or?
I don't know. It was Nicaragua.
Sorry, I thought you said North Korea.
No, Nicaragua. So I might have said North
I
Korea.
just,
My bad.
I may have just misheard it, or we had a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wow, how very progressive of him. Shit, cool. Well, I didn't think that we had any more prisoners between the two of us. I thought that we had we had switched everybody off. I don't know if there is still anybody.
Nicaragua would have probably local protesters or
Oh,
political
sorry.
prisoners.
I was talking about North Korea.
Oh,
That's
North
what I
Korea.
meant.
Yeah, my bad.
It was super progressive of him. I don't know about Nicaragua.
Nicaragua and Honduras they're having a lot of protests lately. Honduras, I know what that's about. Well, partially, not 100%, but Nicaragua as well. Yeah, shit's just popping down there.
Well, I think a lot of places are you know, if it feels like it's happening all over the world, it is.
Well, we are seeing a recurring theme of protests and then police brutality from the protests. So we are seeing a reoccurring theme happening around the world. It's not just United States or United States protesters that are receiving the same treatment. They're kind of doing the same thing worldwide.
Oh yeah, and if you look, if you look behind the scenes, it's all the same people. So when when you strip it down, the tear gas, the rubber bullets, the rubber bullet launchers, the armored personnel carriers, all of the toys that are involved in oppression, guess who makes them? The U.S. Sorry, it was a rhetorical question.
How did Preston get into Preston? You were in the other chat room for a second. How did you do that?
I'm everywhere.
I was just going reading some of the other, and I don't know why it does that. It throws me into
another chat room. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and Discord's a little bit interesting to navigate sometimes. It's cool, like it works out well for this, but for larger conversations, it can get a little much. You got to keep them real small when it comes to Discord.
Yeah, you got to really watch. I was actually I had to delete a bunch of stuff. I had put it in the Catalonia episode. I was all cheesed up.
Oh yeah, and I added
Yeah.
people there. I thought that was the main because it didn't pop up as the main main chat, so I added some people to the wrong one.
Oops.
Yeah. We have the kind of the history story as well.
Yeah.
About the cavemen. I really like that one, so hoping we can get into it. So I know you had posted it about the THC weed being found in cavemen burial sites.
100% true. You wanna explain that one?
Okay, so this is kind of cool in just the development of man. So I mean, we already knew that cannabis has been used throughout history, basically from the beginning of time, and this really proves it. In this case, they were using it in the ritual part of burial, and there's some really cool things that I kind of wanted to go into with that. How they would do it was they would put it in a big bowl, like a wooden bowl that they'd carved out, and then they put the cannabis in there, the leaves and all of that stuff, and then they would put hot rocks on top of it. And hot rocks are rocks that you put in the fire, and they store a little bit of heat, and then you can use them for other stuff. And in ancient cultures, hot rocks were really, really important. That's where sweat lodges come, and a lot of spirituality comes from these hot rocks. In places where it got super cold, certain rocks will hold heat, and you could heat your bed and some other cool stuff with these. So they would put these ultra hot rocks in there, and then it would burn the weed for the family during burial times, in the mourning process and rituals and all of that. And one of the things that's super interesting about this is these are extremely small families. So you're looking at sometimes less than 12 people, and in the smaller the family group, the more devastating a death can be. When there's only 12 people in the whole world, somebody dying is a big deal. And because of that, emotionally, this may have actually helped them with the things, the depression that comes along, the mourning that comes along with using it, that they were using cannabis as well to deal with those depressive feelings. And it's just a really interesting part that, geez, we were using cannabis before we invented bread and beer. When it comes to people, what we call, when people are talking about cavemen, Cro-Magnon man, and some other species of hominid that were running around in the time, the original story was that we went up there, with all this technology and culture, and just murdered them, and then took all of this stuff. And what actually happened was we went up there, and the people that you would call is cavemen were actually the species of human that invented art and jewelry. They actually taught it to Homo sapiens, not the other way around. And because they were so closely related to humans, we didn't kill all of them. We actually interbred with them. And that part of their brain that seems to be involved with things, to higher culture, all the way up to music and art and all of those in the beginning of humanity actually came from the caveman side, not from the man-monkey side. So that is super cool to kind of think about. And the extent of time that humanity has been using cannabis is both a spiritual and medicinal use, and it's being able to see it so clearly there is super cool. In my mind, it's super cool.
Well, it's just been saying that maybe the first words man ever said was like, "Bro."
yeah, I'm sure it led to the munchies. We may have went on the path that we're on for that. Yeah, certain things that only stoners can say. Have them say, "Whoa." What do you mean? Whoa. That's the one.
Whoa.
That elk is like blowing my mind right now.
Well, think about what, like a fossilized John McAfee, what they would find. What would they
Stone
think?
tablets with just insanity written on them. Huge amounts of coca leaves stacked up in the sides.
It's the same
I've
thing.
got secrets about Tharg. That was the best caveman name I could come up with. Don't mean to be racist against caveman. Xenophobic against cavemen? I'll figure it out.
Troglophobic.
Troglophobic, is that what it
No,
is?
I'm making that up, but it might be close.
It might be close. Don't mean to be racist. I'll throw it out there. See what sticks. Xenophobic.
Don't be troglodytic.
But no, it is a super cool part. Like they find out so much about humanity and how like wrong our kind of elitist view on history was compared to the reality that we're finding out through DNA and through archaeology. It's really interesting because basically everything that you thought you knew about Neanderthals was wrong.
They wouldn't lie to us, would they?
Yeah, they totally. And for like all the same reasons, but yeah, to kind of make ourselves feel better, we really made up this story about ancient man that is really 100% untrue, and seem to like really hang on to it. You know, look in modern history books; it'll tell you that we pushed the Neanderthals to extinction, right, all the way off the continent. All the last place they were living are up in these caves, right? And in actuality, we literally just interbred with them. You probably could not have told the difference between a person of the same, at that time, and a Neanderthal. Everybody was hairy, stinky. Man, this is thousands of years before the invention of any sort of like hygiene product. You could not tell the difference between a caveman and a person. The difference was so minute genetically that we could interbreed with them, and did.
Yeah, I'm kind of weirded out how ancient man figured out that smoking cannabis got you high.
It probably was, I would say most likely was accidental. Like a lot of our discoveries, you had fire, you needed kindling, you threw in some pot leaves, and
that's
wow,
probably how
that
it happened. That's probably how it happened. Some guy was probably trying to find some firewood and put cannabis in there, and then figured out.
I would. It may have been teenagers to get into shit like that.
You got a lot of time. I mean, it's not like now when you can pull up your iPhone and start dicking around on the internet.
Yeah, and for a while there, like fire was the best thing going. So like everything in like human advancement kind of centralized around that fire. So we threw everything we possibly could in there to see what it would do. And even in general, humans have ingested and smoked and just about everything they possibly could. We've tried it all. Don't smoke that. That'll kill you. Tharg smoked that the other day. He is still fucked up. Same with, we always had the false history that we invented bread before beer, that beer was a byproduct of us discovering yeast in making bread, and it turns out it is literally the exact opposite. We invented beer way before we had figured out bread.
Yep.
Like way before, which is like hilarious.
That is 100% true.
And most likely change the direction of humanity. But we had beer production down to a science before we even thought about the first person that poured one was all like, wow, yeah. It's awesome.
In the time of the pharaohs, they were using tobacco. They were drinking lotus wine, which was popular at the time. Well, and they were also growing cocaine.
Well, and both of those, the two that you mentioned that are super important, are the tobacco and the cocaine, because neither of those exist in the old world. But yet they found both of them
in Egypt.
In Egypt, in the Pharaoh's tomb. So, one way or another, most likely from the Polynesians, Polynesians in the Pacific. Were the ones that were traveling back and forth to the New World at the time. They found canoes from those islands that literally all over the world. It looks like in the ancient world they dominated in sea travel. They found the fishing hooks that are only made out of certain materials and gems. The hooks that you see on the islands in the Pacific, those hooks were sold all over the world and were in extreme demand. So one of the ways that they found out where they were trading from is the discovery of those fishing hooks, and I think certain kinds of jade as well. But they found those in California, all the way up to Washington and up into Canada. They found, like I said, tobacco and cocaine inside of Egyptian temples that it should have had no contact with South America.
Yeah.
Besides other, there are other connections. I don't know if we really got time. God, we really need to do that history episode and that disclosure episode at some point now, because there's a lot there that we could talk about, and I hate running out of time. But these are also two places that, out of several, that were doing very similar building structures, and even had several shared gods, which really shouldn't happen accidentally. Recently, there's been some discoveries of pyramids in Croatia and into Russia, and some discoveries of pyramids in outside of the coast of Japan. So, although not particularly in the main, it's also not very fervently argued against that there may have been a preceding culture, a progenitor culture, that spread some of the technology across especially building technology across the world. Now, we're not talking about aliens, we're just talking about smart people, right? But it seems that there may have been a culture that spread these across the world. These ideas across the world, super, like, really, really interesting stuff. When you get into it, it's material. If you're a history buff, if you're not into history, they're like, what the fuck? This is not why I tuned in. Where's the political corruption stuff? Talk about hacking. Yeah, but that was one that we put on. The ancient cannabis is an eye opener for a lot of people.
So literally, man has been using cannabis since the beginning of time.
As far as we have records to, so far, as far back as we have records, we see cannabis use, whether that's for spiritual use. In this case, this does have spiritual connotations with it, but like we were talking about before, this may have been one way for ancient man to deal with something that we're using cannabis for now, and that is depression. And some of the extremely depressive feelings that you feel during the loss of a loved one, and that added upon in an extremely small society. So, I mean, it even more when there's only 12 people in the world, and there's more family groups than that, but in your world, there's only that small family group. And they were using it to cope, and extremely efficiently. How they were doing it worked. It's a cool bit of history, and interesting to see how much ancient man figured that we can't get our government to understand. Right? Ancient man understood his world, understood the plants around him, and these guys are literally putting people in prison for their entire lives for doing something that ancient man knew. It's weird. It's crazy to me. It is crazy.
Maybe they got it from dinosaurs, man. Because weed had to be here before us.
Oh, did you guys remember that show? Was it just called Dinosaurs? Not the Mama Show. You remember that?
Oh yeah, Dinosaur. Yeah, I remember it was in the 90s. I just don't remember what the hell it was called.
I thought it was just Dinosaurs.
I think that was it. I remember.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
It was on for a good 5-6 years, right?
Just like, well, that asteroid hits, and then that is it. The show just ends, which was kind of cool. But when you talk about weed smoking dinosaurs, what Seth Green's character, that like the like, I don't know, kind of hippie teenager they had, him.
Oh, it was on. It was only on for 3 years. I thought it was on for longer.
For more than that? No, he was a lumberjack, right? Tree pusher.
Yeah, tree pusher.
Well, you'd have to think that they'd be smart enough to, like, if there was a forest fire going across a field, they would notice to stay downwind.
Ah, that's a good.
Yeah.
And I, and because fires happen so naturally to begin with, even a good drought somewhere where weed was growing wild, if you did on your way out get like a good whiff and think, "Fuck, what was that?" So there's probably, there isn't a lot of evidence on how exactly it was, discovered at the first time, but that's just as likely as anything else. There was a lightning strike and and a fire in a big, grove of cannabis, and you figured it out. Definitely a possibility, I think, in the realm of possibility. And you see, like, animals, dolphins, get high with pufferfish, and they, treat it a lot like we use cannabis. It makes them kind of loopy. They share it between each other. It's kind of cool to see. There's certain birds and lizards that do about the same thing. Several monkeys that get high on certain plants. Elephants do it. So yeah, it's all, for some reason, a lot of the highly intelligent animals find something to get all fucked up on.
What's Billy doing? He's huffing gas.
Yeah. This is great. You got to try it. The dolphins is really cool. If you guys ever see those, look up dolphins and pufferfish, and you'll see them, and they're passing it around exactly like you've seen people pass around a joint. Like, it looks exactly like how humans do it. And then they hang out in the water and play and kind of have a good time. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just looking that up.
It is it is the cutest thing that you have ever seen.
Holy shit! Yeah, they're getting stung by the pufferfish.
But they know the older dolphins. This is something that has been passed down for generations of dolphins. So the older dolphins show the younger dolphins how much of it to take and not kill yourself, because too much of the pufferfish poison will kill you. So they all, they show them, they show each other how much to use, that you just have a good time. It's really a weird, quirk in mammal development. But yeah, it is one of the cutest things that you will ever see. I'm going down our list here to see what we got. We made sure to give our shout out to Matt for his birthday. Big shout out to all our listeners at the dog food plant, doing some fucking hard work for us. These guys are working all night, and they listen to our show during their shift. So I promised I would give them a little bit of shout out. I won't mention the name of the company, won't get them in trouble, and we don't do advertising, but they know who we're talking to. And yeah, we love that you guys watch the show. They got a lot of difference of opinion. These are hardworking, salt of the earth, blue collar Americans, and it's great that they support doing and tune in and listen. We help get them through their shift. But yeah, that was my little shout out there.
Yeah.
Dog food. Wow, man.
Yeah, so they do the packaging and processing and all of that stuff. That's all a lot of night shift work for some reason. So they do most of their stuff at night, and puts them right at perfect time to listen to us. And since they, we kind of are always fighting for the little guy, they love it. And you're definitely Preston. You are a fucking superstar, man. I don't know how you do it, but they love you. So that's all I will say.
Huh.
Yeah, I hate getting fucking ego.
I know how this fits.
It's not. It hurts my ego a little bit when they oh guys, we love your show. Can you say hi to Preston for me? Yeah, I'll say hi to him.
Well, that would hurt, yeah.
You don't want you don't want to talk to Captain Planet? No, but Preston is cool as fuck. All right, guys. Then.
We notice how this fits together. It's because we fight for the underdog.
The underdog, yeah,
Yeah.
always. But no, there is like a lot of one of the parts that they always say about our show is that we've got it's not just dissent in thinking. It's that we go for as much open and truthful debate as possible. Right? And that really, I think that sets us apart from really any other show. Nobody pulls our strings. And your average worker likes that. They might not agree. Your average person likes that. They might not agree with everything that you say, but at least you're saying what's on your mind. You're telling them the truth. You're being straight with them. And that's what people want. But I guess when you say it, they like it more. No, I love it. I love it, and I'm always more than I'm always like I think like I'm just as much of a fan anyway. So I'm always all yeah.
Well, let's get some dirt on what happens over at the dog food plant.
I don't think too much does. Like they're all like such like it seems to be a good company. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
They've never like came out and like said anything like, guys, come on, you got to do something. They're paying us, shit wages here or anything. So yeah, I don't know if there's. I think we always have like an open door policy, and we can even call people out without it being being direct and getting anybody in trouble. We hear a lot through the grapevine.
Oh yeah, we do.
Too much. I love sending back those. We do not accept unsolicited leaks or information. Blah 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 blah. I got a whole like write up that I send, and then I said that at the bottom I put my priest reply to our encrypted account. We do not accept any information. Please feel free to contact me. So yeah. God, I think we did a good job about going through a lot of the big stuff that's going on. We do have some subpoenas coming up, but I think we'll give more information about that. I don't know how that's going to work out with the contempt charge on Barr. I sure hope.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, like what the fuck is going on with that?
That would make my day. Oh my God.
Yeah, he doesn't want to testify before Congress.
Yeah, even though he's been subpoenaed to, and I think there's some paperwork that he refuses to give up, which I'm sure the fact that you refuse to give it up means that there's probably nothing good in there. But yeah. that may be getting him in some serious trouble here. We'll see what they do with it. Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. I mean, the Democrats are going to have to grow a set here eventually.
Yeah.
What
happens if you're in contempt of Congress? Like nothing happens. They just say you're in contempt of Congress. Shame on you.
They used to throw you in jail.
Yeah, they got jail in the actual congressional
Well, they don't. They haven't thrown anybody in there recently.
Well, I think that they don't like to arrest their own, but I mean, yeah, he could possibly do some time for it. Whether they'll press on it or not is another story, because like you said, you've never seen any of them arrest anybody. It's not like there aren't plenty of people that deserve it. Yeah. Flint leadership, top on that list.
Yeah, whoever dismissed all of those people's cases was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I hope you're out in hell. No doubt.
There's no criminal conduct here. Flint hasn't had clean water in how long?
Yeah, and you advise people to drink said poison water.
Yes, they did tell the locals that it was safe. There is no amount of safe lead in your water, in your drinking water.
Yeah, so I mean, those are
bathing water. That's different, but drinking water, there's no safe level. There's no safe amount of lead.
Now, and this is something that look, I'm completely and utterly nonviolent. You guys all know about me, but through my lifetime, I have heard them talk about corporal punishment for nonviolent drug crimes, right? To get time taken off of prison, and I'm talking politicians, prison wardens, lawyers, all of this to bring back corporal punishment, that you take a couple of lashes, or 10 lashes, 20 lashes to take time off your sentence and all of this stuff. Why have you never heard anybody want to bring back flogging for politicians that poison people's water? I think that would probably be a good use for it.
Yeah, I agree.
A
Tar and
public
feather.
flogging, I feel, would be completely within. I mean, if you're going to push it for non-drug violent weed crime, right? Is it too much to say that would be an acceptable punishment for somebody that poisoned an entire city's water and then told mothers to fill their child's bottles up with poisoned water after that as well?
There was also Legionnaire's disease was also common.
Well, I mean, and that's they had to shut down the water system. So the longer that the water set in these old pipes, the Legionnaire's disease popped up. That you knew about
along with obvious lead poisoning in children's drinking water. They had the rashes and
this comes after
their mental ability was severely
affected as it would from somebody that's been drinking lead. And the fact is, they denied that this was even a thing in the beginning.
Well, somebody should be shot in the head. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, you'll meet your maker eventually, one way or another. I can't, there's certain punishments that I'm not going to bring myself down to your level to do it. But, you should be, a pariah. You should be punished, right? Justice needs to be served. I don't know exactly where that justice is, but letting you fucking go free and go back to your life, all charges dropped. I mean, that is reprehensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it's I mean, I don't even know, what to do about it when you hear those kind of things. We should all be outraged. I mean, absolutely outraged. But on the same note, it's only $77 million to fix this. It's not saying that our entire water system doesn't need to be replaced, and that is the truth. Right? We can't run this 1930s fucking plumbing system through our water anymore. Lead is bad for people, and in some places, lead is the best thing that's in there. Right?
I don't understand what I don't understand is why anybody was using lead for pipes in modern.
Some of it's not the pipes. The pipe all by itself. So I mean, number one, the reason that lead was used in pipes is because it's an antiseptic. Although it does kill you, it also kills all sorts of bugs. In other cases, it's not the whole pipe itself, but some of the connector pieces, because they're so pliable, have been used to connect it. So those pick up lead.
I can imagine it for solder for copper, to weld copper pieces together, but not for a whole pipe.
Yeah, actually, like lead has some properties in it that work to like Legionnaire's disease. That's why the Romans in their pipe. Oddly enough, you had a longer life expectancy in ancient Rome if you lived through childhood than you do now. Figure that out.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? When you look at the some of our greatest philosophers, they're 89 years old. 89 years old is old in age in modern society. But no, I mean it comes down to, it's not like we don't have we don't have the need, but you can't hire plumbers. There's not plumbers out of work. Like, there's just so much work that needs to be done that would actually help people, and they're stuck on fucking stupid. Right? They'll do anything but projects that actually help people.
But that's why lashes aren't the proper remedy, because they're supposed to be hanged. Crimes and misdemeanors is a hanging.
I've thought about it, right? And I do think that has like an end all, right? But it doesn't have the crushing ability that have you sniffling and bawling and brought down to the piece of shit that you are, right? And I want to post that, on every this sniveling pile of shit, right? The guy that was screaming like a little baby after the first fucking lash, right? That's who poisoned your. Right? So the next time that he stands on his ivory tower and gives you a speech, this is the face that, right? That's smiling, that crying puddle of shit there, right? That's who he really is. Where you look in the difference between the people that stand strong for humanity, right? They'll stand strong through anything. And you've seen them do it. Right? You've tried poisoning them, you've tried tear gassing them, you've tried beating them with police, you've tried, threatening their families. One of the guys that spoke out originally, I'm sorry, Brother Adam, I'm going to call you out. You're already famous. I'm not going to make it any worse. But they literally sent people to his house to threaten him.
Yeah.
Him and his kids. Like, can you imagine? For poisoning my water, and somebody speaking out about it, you're going to send thugs to my house to beat my ass? And I'll give it, Adam, he ain't backing down. And that's the point. These guys would be sniveling and bawling in a fucking heartbeat if it was the other way around, right? If Adam showed up there, right, they'd be crying like little fucking babies. But to protect their family, they'll do anything, like any of us would. But that's the difference between us and them. But no, I think that it definitely would bring them down to the level. It takes that facade that somehow you're better than it. Where I think the end all of hangings and shootings and all of that stuff, it doesn't really have the effect that I want you to be completely destroyed. Not a quick end. Your name, your personality, every time you came with that ego and your nice suit, right? That's not what anybody... Not anybody. Ooh, not another, please. Oh, yeah. You got 20 more, bitch.
Yes, may I have
Right?
another?
Yeah, so, some of these weirdos probably be into it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I struggle. Like, what is the correct amount of justice for the kind of corruption that's here? Shoot your punk ass into the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know if we really have the kind of justice that they deserve.
Well, hanging's pretty good.
I know, it's like, I'll still go, right? I'm just saying that there would be, it's better to destroy your enemies completely, right? Like they do to us. It's not just the moment. I'm making an example of you. This is what happens. We've been hanging people for thousands of years now. Fuck, we've been using the guillotine for 500. Hasn't really, or 900. What effect has it really had? They're more corrupt than they were in the ancient world.
That is true. We don't know what they were doing back then, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't as bad as anything we're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, when you look, there's things that they get away with now that there's no way they'd have gotten away with the anti.
Yeah, you never heard of genocide. You never really heard of genocide in the ancient world, Well,
they didn't have the weapons to pull it off.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, there's always. I mean, sure, there's plenty of people that wanted to that never.
Well, Genghis Khan is the only one that ever came close to genocide. He killed the Tao, or I don't forget how to say it, Zhao.
Yeah.
They were the only tribe in China that challenged Genghis Khan's ruling, and instead of raping and pillage, he killed them all.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that was, policy, pour salt in the fucking across the fields. Like these are, but I mean, that's not that much farther away. What's the difference? Is there so much of a difference between Genghis Khan and the U.S. dropping phosphorus over Iraq? Is there? To your kid that's dying in your arms, does it matter?
That's the same.
So I mean, we do get into it's a mentality. It's the fact that you somehow feel that you have the authority to take the most precious thing on our in our existence, and that's human life.
Yeah.
And they do play. I have the authority. Who gave you that authority? And they used to play the game. You know what I mean? God gave them the authority, but people aren't believing that anymore. So now they have to make up all sorts of other reasons to explain why they're why they're omnipotent, and it's not true. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. There's is there better, to conquer the world for fame and glory, or to conquer the world for profit? It doesn't matter to the people being conquered.
Wow.
Yeah, oppression has 1,000 faces. They always look this.
Well, then it's all for like one guy or the king.
Yeah, it's always for the. They're special. You know what I mean? They're the special kind of monkey. They're different than us. It's just crazy for me to think of, and we're still into it, are we not? Right? We all bow. They all bow to the Queen of England. She's special. She's better than us. I don't know why. Nobody's ever been able to give me a good reason. You boned your cousin the most. I don't know why that makes you special, but there you go.
It is nonsense.
It's complete nonsense. It really is complete nonsense.
It's just amazing how many people.
Well, I'm of royal blood. Well, what the fuck does that mean? You fell out the tree for me?
Well, that's pulling out your entitlement card.
But they all believe it. Every single one of them is a god. Every single one of them dies.
I just don't know why so many people believe it.
Yeah, it's weird, and for some reason humanity believes it. Now, we've replaced it with the power elite. We call them, they're the elite now. They're better than you. But for some reason, it's just human mentality for some reason to put, some of these people up on pedestals that in no way, shape, or form deserve it. They're just people. They're not special.
They're called staunch monarchists. They believe in their history.
Yeah, hard to deal with sometimes.
Don't talk bad about the Queen.
What do we got? What do we got left on the list? And we got heaps of comments here.
Man, I like this one. You said something about Catalan citizens' doors are marked with yellow by fascists in Spain. I didn't see that one.
Am I shut down?
Yeah, John was talking about that. How there's some weird Nazi-like mentality going on against the Catalans in Spain. We were talking about it on last Sunday. We and the panel were not aware, but there is a Nazi-like mentality from the Spanish people towards the Catalans, and they're out openly, doing the Zeke Heil and all that shit. And I wasn't aware that any of this was going on.
Well, and this is like throughout Catalonia's history, and especially recent history, they have used the fascist faction on them. So, I mean, the last time when they had the vote for independence that Spain deemed illegal, they sent in a bunch of Nazi, right, into the protest by busload, and then their fascist leader. As well, it's weird. Same as World War II. Again, tried to oppress them with Nazi, like actual Nazis, and then Nazi tactics made their language illegal. It's a long history of them using these fascist groups against the people of Catalonia. It's insane.
Catalan language is just a combination of French and Spanish. It's really.
But it is its own distinct language.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is why, I mean, anybody caught speaking it was arrested and was allowed to be beaten under the Nazi regime. They imported a bunch of Spanish speakers that had fascist ties as well to try to just overwhelm the Catalan language with Spanish. Very, similar to what you see in the Basque region in France. If you guys want to make
the Basque, they have a
coalition.
they have a completely different language than anybody in the
Well,
region.
I mean, it's different language, different history, different cuisine, building techniques. In there's it's not just like it's one thing. It is a completely distinct culture.
Yeah.
But I know we've had a lot going on. With it recently, and I know though they're going to be coming back on as well. We do need to get some our language skills up a little bit here, so we can make sure to ask all the good questions. But I think we've done well. I don't
know. My Spanish is about as good as it's going to get.
We need an Alexa AI.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak like a
So-
3-year-old in Spanish. I can tell people what I want and this and that, but to have a full-on paragraph by paragraph conversation, I only understand 1 out of every 4 words.
Yeah.
And that's with what 6 years of Spanish. I'm a slow learner, right?
We'll get it, and I mean it's one of the things with ABB with Anonymous Worldwide to begin with, is that we've got a worldwide audience. So I mean the fact that our show that day is in Spanish is or in Spanish or Catalan or anything is fine, because then all of our Spanish listeners get it in their native language. That's cool. They'll understand that episode maybe better than they understand any one of our other episodes.
Oh, that was actually my reason for learning Spanish was to there's a whole continent you can go to where they speak the same goddamn language.
Yeah, and I mean it's communication is key. The same as like we need to, it's just there's a lot of we do so much work in the so much work to begin with. It's hard to go through and make like the captions and subtitles and stuff for our shows as well. And we do need people to come through and do that, just because for all of our viewers our viewers and followers that have hearing issues, that's a big part of their connection to the world, is reading, and sometimes it can get let out or left out.
Yeah.
But no, the more ideas that we can get out and the more languages that we can get them out in, the better. I'm all for it. We got to be I know we said it in the beginning, but we're broadcasting on 15 social networks right now.
Yeah, and more than one Russian location. Let me see how they're doing, actually.
We've always got heaps of support from our Russian followers. Everybody from VK. Yeah, and I mean our friends that are Russian are all good people. Just like anybody else, I think that's what's important to know, is that the person on the other side of the world has all the wants and needs and loves that you do. To think anything different is just wrong. Right? They want to live their life and go back and forth to work and be with their families and be safe. You know what I mean? Like, just like you do. They listen to music and dance. They do their thing. Gonna go through a couple. I know we spent way too much time on Biden. We do need to. We'll have more as time goes on about the campaign. I mean, all I can say on this is don't believe the polls whatsoever. If it's from the same people that were lying to you in 2015, they're lying to you now.
Well, they're actually showing him beating Trump. I was like, man, come on. There's no way in hell.
No, I don't. If they run, I mean, to be honest, we're closing here, but I mean, to be honest, if they run if they run Biden, we will lose to Trump. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's because he has no support. Like, nobody's going to vote for him.
Yeah, I don't.
So, yeah,
I don't think Trump is gonna win the next election, based on what Sarah Sanders just did. I think she's leaving for a reason. She knows Trump will not win. I have a feeling that the rest of his administration will be leaving as well, because they know it's a lost cause.
I mean, don't underestimate the guy before. They all went into this that they had this in the bag, right? Clinton was going to win overwhelmingly, right? Landslide. And yeah, that's not the case. Just because people don't like Trump does not mean that they're going to vote for your corruption. And that's what happened last time. People stayed home. And if they run Biden, that's going to happen again. And the people that don't stay home are the Trump supporters. They'll be out there voting, no doubt. But I mean, what, you're going to go vote for Biden? That's insanity. I don't want to live in the world that Biden envisions. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, he's got all the baggage from the Obama Hillary time there. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean that he does have the baggage from the Obama administration, from just having the connection with Clinton, but the rest of his career is just as shitty.
That's true.
Yeah, so
he's consistent.
Yeah, he's consistently on this. That was way, most of what he's done to fuck up the fuck up America was way before Obama. That was only 8 years of a 30-year career of screwing things up.
I have to take it back. Yeah, I'll give him credit. It's his credit.
No, that shit show is 100% his.
He perfected it long before Obama was ready. Yeah.
Yeah, shit, almost before Obama was born. Pretty close. Yeah, he was running what 19 when Biden was fucking shit up 1970. Yeah, so you can't look through a part in his career, and we can go through that we'll talk about. It's just Warren and Kamala and all those other corrupt officials. We will definitely talk about them in the future, but the reason that we end up focusing on Biden and Trump so much is they're the ones that they're trying to shove down our throats the most. That it's like a lie every single day that you have to refute. It's crazy.
They wear you out, man.
Oh yeah, I'll look on there and I'll be like, you gotta be kidding me. Can you not just take a break for a day? Like, is there not like a stupidity limit? Nope. Doesn't do a damn thing for 9/11 victims, and then once Jon Stewart says something, he posts a fucking how awesome I am tweet. Insane. You'll not find anybody that's done more than I have for 9/11. Come on, man. I can't find anybody that you've ever helped ever.
Did Jon Stewart say that?
Well, no, Jon Stewart gave like a really, really great speech to Congress. Almost no congressman came. And really called them out for the corruption, for all of it, man, for all of it that really leads to letting people down, letting these firefighters down. And then 2 days afterward, the entire internet, is already, doing this. 2 days afterward, he posts about it. Like literally 2 days late to the party, and then post this, how much it's done for them. Just pretty much trying once again to capitalize off of somebody else's pain, which I just thought was despicable, man. If you didn't say anything, in this last, 15 years, don't start now. And then somebody got on there and said, oh, spoken out. And I looked it up. He's given 3 speeches in support of the 9/11 firefighters. None of them to any of the 9/11 firefighters, and did absolutely nothing to help any of those firefighters. They were just mentioned in speeches on the way by in the standard, government response to never forget, every time the 9/11 holidays come, memorials come up. That's it.
That's pathetic.
Yeah, absolutely, positively pathetic. And then to come out when Jon Stewart, which has been, with them, the entire time, they're literally fighting, right? To try to jump on his hard work and his dedication to, everything that happened in that time, that's despicable, man. Like, you'd say bandwagoning, but it's not a bandwagoning, right? Like, Jon Stewart really did give a fuck, and you don't. So yeah, it's hard to I thought that was just a low blow. And then what he did to KC was just as fucking terrible, man. Like, you can kind of see it in her eyes. You know what I mean? Like, do I punch him in the face? I'm gonna get in trouble for this if I punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And then to see him like 360. If you go back and look at, I think it's actually like a GIF image now of him like shaking his finger in her face, and he has got like, you can see the indignation in his expression, and he has got that finger just fucking digging at her in her fucking face. It's crazy. Like, disrespectful on every level that you can. And all she asked was, what are you going to do in your presidency to make sure that we've got equal rights? You've been working in government for 30 years. You've never passed a single law that says that women have to get paid the same as men. Why? And dude goes off. And then the corporate media acts like that didn't even happen. Right? Wasn't on any of the news channels, wasn't on anything. Only, like, we saw it on her page. Their headline was how great of a rally that he had with all 4 people, and one of them you cussed out. The only woman there you cussed out. Cool. But yeah, completely
he's a
cut from the media.
misogynist.
Yeah, he in that kind. Yeah, in all of the derogatory ways. Yeah, and when you see them all together, it becomes painfully obvious. Like, do you got to feel up every girl that comes up to you? Like, every woman that you come and feel her up. I've said this before in the show, right? The excuse that it was a different time. It has never been cool to smell another man's wife's hair. That has never been cool.
It's just creepy on any level, you know what I mean?
Yep, not in the 2000s, not in the 90s, not in the 80s, not in the 70s, not in the 60s. Maybe a little bit of the time in the 60s that was cool if you were actually swinging. But besides that, you should never sniff another man's wife's hair, like, ever.
Hey, maybe it was okay when he was working with Ireland, one of those dudes. Maybe that was okay then.
Well, I don't know, because like one of them, I guess this is like an inside joke, because we talked to one of the guys that was here, and that was his wife, and he said that like every time he would come over, he would do that thing where he would either put his hand like underneath his, like, kind of give him the shoulder around so that he knew, like, just keep your hands off my wife, homie. Right? Like, it wasn't like it wasn't seen as bad inside of the people that were around him. And the husbands that were there were going through all sorts of things to not punch you in the face because you're feeling up my wife on national TV. I'm just going to come over and sniff her hair for a little bit.
Bizarre.
Well,
creepy.
Creepy
as
you know
fuck.
why he does it? Here's why. Because it's like you're getting nominated for something, and he knows you're not going to rock the boat at the last minute because you want this position and you want the money. So I can grope your wife, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where I don't know if I would be able to keep it real. I don't know. I think like maybe you'd make a joke the first time, right? But I'd make sure that the joke was extremely clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no.
To me, I mean, if you're that close, you have a great opportunity to just straight up cold cock the guy.
Oh,
because
yeah,
the Secret
fuck,
Service
man.
ain't going to get there fast enough.
It'd be hard not to. Like, as you're watching this dude fucking like rub your wife's shoulders and sniff her hair, like, at what point do you knock him out? I'm not telling anybody to be violent, but I'm a man just like anybody else. Like, at what point does it cross that line? Like, this isn't a violent action. This is a learning experience, and I hope that you learn something from it. Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Well, Joe Biden learned that it's okay for him to grope this guy's wife. The guy didn't do anything.
Yeah, so I just kept doing it. See how far I can take this.
We got
and
that
it's not
straight,
just your wife, right? He'll grope your wife. He'll grope your girlfriend. Fuck, he'll grope your daughter on national TV, parade her around the room, and you will do nothing about it. And that poor little girl, like, you have to be the one that's groped by, you know what I mean? Her opportunity to have, a moment to be shot, to shine in front of it was like it was a cute kid. It was terrible that like that happened. Messed up, man. Messed up. And after giving like a whole speech about I'm going to try to keep my hands to myself, just like he's going to try to, make policies that don't screw us over. He's going to try not to quit, not to put millions of black, brown, and poor people into prison. He's going to try to keep our world from being destroyed by, oil companies and pesticides. He's promises to do that in the future, but if you notice, he doesn't change. It's just as much of a reality as he's gonna cure cancer. I hear lots of no I've done's.
We can send him to political rehab, and he can get better.
He's like, you cannot say things that will not happen. Yes, I can.
Like the fact that you're saying it makes me believe that it's not going to happen.
It's going to be different next time.
Well, he said that
this time it's the same, but next time it's going to be different.
Yeah, you only get like the one time. Like I'll say you get one mistake, right? You get the one. Bernie Sanders is a good example, right? Your one mistake, you supported Hillary Clinton, right? Everybody makes a mistake. I understand that. You don't get to make another one. Don't do it again. Don't do it again, dude. Please, God, do not come out here spitting some, we need to support Joe Biden. Do not do it. You're breaking my heart. And I mean, even then, like, why can Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders not just like y'all are on the same? Like, why not fight together? Like, why can't we like really be in this to fucking destroy this oligarchy? Like, rip it the fuck down. But yeah, it just seems like everybody's got their own interests in mind. I'm not saying either of them are being super self-centered, like they're not. But I mean, imagine what would be possible if they worked together. Get Jesse Ventura on board. We'll burn this motherfucker to the ground.
That might happen later. Them actually working. I mean, now at this point, it's like, hey, you're all running. You couldn't give a fuck about the other guy. I mean, you're in it to win.
Yeah, which
only they don't really seem like they are in it to win.
Yeah, I mean that's the deal. Like they're like half-hearted to win. I mean, I honestly, to be 100% honest, I do think that like out of all of them, I've interviewed most of the candidates one way or another, or been like right there because I refused to interview Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Buttigieg. They've got all the media coverage that they can possibly handle, and I'm not going to ask them any of the questions that they want to answer. So I refuse to interview them, but that doesn't mean I'm not in the room when they're getting interviewed. The point is that she's the only one that I saw conviction. And I know that's not a very, very high bar, but just in talking to her, she's the only one that seemed real. The rest of them were on a political, thing. They say what you're going to hear over and over and over and over, just the same shit over and over again. And she was the only one that I talked to, that I asked questions to, that gave real answers, that actually, that actually looked me in the eyes. The amount of people that would talk directly to these fucking cameras and refuse to actually look me in the eyes. And Tulsi Gabbard was the one that actually did it. And I don't think I'm a particularly hard person to look in the eyes. Like, you don't have to try to avoid me.
Yeah.
I mean, I am going to ask you why you support the military-industrial complex, but I think that's really a legitimate question. Camilla, why'd you have all our brothers and sisters put into prison? Camilla, why'd you have all our brothers and sisters put into prison?
Man, we got 10 minutes, guys.
All right.
10 minutes.
Yeah, wow, that really went quick. For not having, they go a lot quicker when we have guests on. When we're even interviewing people, like the time just flies by. We end up not talking about half of what we have on the list.
Yeah.
Where we want to try to run through the last 5 things. We will have an update on the riots going on at the moment. I just don't have. I can't make a statement one way or another until I see the arrest records and the dash cam footage. I'm not going to get, our opponents will pump up a protest, even violent protest, knowing that something's going to come out one way or the other for no other reason but to discredit activists. So until I get some hard evidence, I can't make a statement. All we know right now is that they fired 53 bullets in 3.5 seconds, something like that.
Damn, that's fast.
Mm-hmm. At one guy.
And what was this for?
See, that's where it starts getting muddled. So,
Oh,
supposedly,
was that rapper?
yeah. So
Oh, no.
supposedly, I mean, he was, yeah. I don't know. So, like, his was they were serving a warrant. The police have been, we've asked several times now for the police report, for what the warrant's about. They said that they were for a violent felony, but that could be anything. So, I mean, unless you give me some real, you know what I mean? What did you mean by violent? Is that the assault on an officer charge that you get, the assault on an officer resisting arrest charge that you throw at anybody that asks, why are you arresting me? Why are you harassing me? I have to see what the arrest for before I can come out and say it. The other one that's going on is the Willie McCoy, and look, this guy was literally just passed out in his car. We haven't got enough information on what was going on. The cops walk up, see that he's asleep, tap on the window, turn around, and fill the car full of holes. Right? 3 seconds. 3 seconds. They knock on the window and then just open fire. And I mean, they filled this car full of holes. 55 seconds. I mean, 55 55 shots in 3.5 seconds. As many as they could click off. And I mean, the guy's asleep. Not are you okay? You know what I mean? Not no wellness check, absolutely nothing. Just shot the car full of holes, and for no reason. I can't figure it out. But the riots are actually over a young man that was shot, and I don't have enough information to make a statement about it. But as soon as we have it, we push the story. The fact that the police department hasn't put out a dash cam video already, or a body cam video, does set up some red flags. Because when they're in the right, that video is out within 5 minutes.
So how many officers did that? I mean, how many to shoot that many that fast? You had about 10 guys surround him, or what?
Oh yeah, this like when Willie McCoy is shot, and this was actually a little bit ago that he was shot. They had the car surrounded, like he wasn't going nowhere. So they had the 3-4 cars in front, 3 cars behind. The one officer walks up. Kind of taps on the window, doesn't get a reply, and yeah, they just open up on him. I mean, it looks as close to a street execution as you've seen.
That's what it sounds like.
And yeah, he was passed out. I don't know if it was drugs. I don't know if it was, you know what I mean? If he just passed out, if he had an aneurysm, if he had a heart attack, there's plenty of things that can cause you to lose consciousness. That doesn't give the cops a reason to execute you in the street. I'm not sure what their reasoning for that was.
Yeah, that can't be policy. I mean, much less to be looking.
He's sleeping. Like, I mean, come on. If you're like you're. Let me repeat after me. I feared for my life. I thought he had a gun. If you're fearing for your life from a sleeping man, you really should be in a different job. I mean, I'm not sure what job you should be in if you're scared of sleep people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cleaning toilets.
Yeah. So, yeah, but these are 2 separate shootings, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the story is on the second shooting, but I've gotten a lot of messages about it, and I don't have enough information to I don't like to put out the a video or information unless I have real information about it.
5 minutes, guys.
All right. Yeah, I don't. We got a lot of things going on here in the future. Please keep these natural disasters, floods, and stuff are going to get worse here in the next couple of weeks. Be prepared, both if you're going to help and to take care of yourselves. a small tote with some water bottles, a flashlight, some batteries or charger for your phone, a couple of walkie-talkies even. Start with the basics, a small medical kit, a knife, the basics things that you would need, and just kind of work up from there. We will putting out a list of emergency supplies to have. Start small and way up. If you're going to send things, we'll have lists out of items that people will need. Certain families have lost absolute everything and may not be able to go back to their houses. So yeah, just keep on our site for updates for emergency evacuations, search and rescue, the works. We do have a couple of drone companies that we're talking to try to get search and rescue drones. Right now we're using an Inspire that we've modified a little basket to drop off medications to places that need it. So hopefully we can get some delivery drones so that we can, so we can get more medication, do longer flights to people in need during these hurricanes. So that's my kind of piece for the end here.
All right. Yeah, I pretty much don't know what else to say.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I guess we'll
Busy
run.
week.
Yeah, we'll end the show a few minutes early. We'll be back next Thursday at 7:00. The Sunday show has been canceled.
Spay and neuter all politicians.
Yeah, I swear that I'm going to get T-shirts made. I know I say that every time. I am getting that T-shirt made.
And we'll roll out with the credits.
Like.
I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly.